my day, it's you, starts before yesterday ended for you. What hours do you get up in the morning? What do you mean by that?
12:30. Oh, that's when I was getting up, 12:31.
Yeah, that is when I'm finishing my day, by the way.
12:30. So my schedule's actually not that far from different now. Now I just get up at midnight. So I set my alarm for 12.
Wait, you get up at midnight?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Why? Can I
I
just
start work at 2.
What do you mean 2? Again, why
2
2?
a.m.
Yeah, 2 a.m. What are you doing at 2 a.m.?
Training people.
You're training people at 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Chris hasn't gone to bed yet at 2 a.m.
I know. Because I text heaps of clients when I get up and they haven't been to bed yet. Sweet. So when we go to the gym now, we're using 65% of the muscles.
Right.
Your body will naturally keep 35%, whatever, in reserve for flight or fight.
Okay.
And that's just the thing from
Yeah.
back in the day. Right?
That's what it is, yeah.
And they've done studies on like Olympians and whatever, like Usain Bolt only uses that 65% of his muscle ability. So, and he's top. So we're all probably using less.
Yeah.
Right? You put the pads on the muscle, you automatically use 100%.
He's supersize yourself 10 kg in 10 weeks. Fuck science, old gym bro habits. Put your money where your mouth is. Back to a 4-day bro split, unless he trains legs twice, then it's 5. PT to him is business. Business to him is PT. The beach and recreation's got no room in the middle of the day. The secret to competing and winning is not having a girlfriend. Is it the norm or is it not the norm? Please help me welcome the name Sadek, that means truth, Jimmy Sadek. How are you, brother? There's a bit there, isn't there? Yeah, I was going to bring up the Sadek. I looked it up, and it means truth, doesn't it?
Yeah. And my wife's name means truth too, which is quite funny.
What's your wife's name?
Her name's Verity.
Verity. How does truth come into that? Give me a bit of...
So I think in Arabic, my dad and her told me this.
Okay.
They talk about stuff all the time. So apparently, I think in Arabic, I might be wrong, don't quote me, verity means truth.
Yeah.
Or something's verity means truth. So they told me, and that's why it was funny, because Sadek means truth, verity means truth. Because I've got truth there.
Yeah.
But because it's Sadek and verity, it's kind of...
So, what's her background?
She's Australian, Smith.
I was going to say, she doesn't look...
No, she's
Arabic.
She
looks pretty Aussie.
She's an Aussie as
they come.
Yeah.
All right, but you've batted way above your average. You know that. You've batted too high, man.
She's super, yeah.
What's going on there? She's gorgeous, man.
She got lucky.
Yeah, she did get lucky. She's lucky.
Yeah.
Not you. We as Greeks get named after our grandfather. So I got my grandfather was called Steve. My dad called me Steve Giourgis. My dad's brother, his son's called Steve Giourgis. So similar thing. We just named after the grandfathers.
See, I wanted to put my dad's name in my son's.
Yep.
I was like, I can't call my son Fred. I couldn't do a twin. Like
Fred?
It's an old fucking name. Yeah. So I didn't be miskind to my son.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to put it into his middle name, but it didn't sound. It was a bit like clunky.
Yeah.
So I knew if I put Joseph into his middle name too, it'd be okay for my dad.
Was your dad okay with it?
Yeah.
Because some dads, they're...
So
some dads,
Apollo, James, Joseph.
Yeah. Well, we're the same in that area. So I don't want to give away too much, but your cousin, I met him at UFC gym in Alexandria when it was UFC gym.
Yep.
He was training there. Really nice guy.
He's too nice.
It's too nice. But he's too nice. But what I mean is he's the type that will come up to you and tell you you're looking good. Like he's got a really, many people don't like to talk to people, but he's a complimenting kind of guy. He's a very complimenting guy. And when out of the blue, I hadn't seen him for years, I just thought, I want to do a cycle. And I knew no one. And why I thought of him, because he's friendly, so I rang him. I said, I want to do a cycle. And you know how good he was? I'll tell you how good he was. He said to me, are you sure? Like he didn't go, yeah. He was like, Listen, bro.
He hasn't taken stuff for ages as well.
Yeah. Well, what I'm getting at is, but he goes, "Are you sure?" But he took me to the ghetto. He showed me the way to do it. Everything. Don't worry. We'll down alleyways, going to places to get the vials. The journey?
He's just a nice guy. Yeah.
A nice guy, but he taught me well. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed, who is following us on all platforms, but especially here on YouTube. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, please, if you could do us a big favor, which helps us reach more people, get better, bigger, greater. We've already had some great guests anyway. Everyone's been a treat. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're notified every week a new podcast that is launched. And I just want to say a big thank you. But again, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and enjoy watching Muscle Talks podcasts. Thank God. And the reason I went to him is a few reasons. I trusted him because we trained at the gym.
Yeah.
That was one. And I knew his brother competed very well. And they had to know something. You can't not know anything with his brother went into competed overseas. Mm-hmm. So, maybe I'll get him on the podcast soon too. All right, let's go into some of the stuff I looked up. 9th of August. I'm willing to bet my day, that's you, starts before yesterday ended for you. What hours do you get up in the morning? What do you mean by that? That your day started before everyone else's day ended. What does that mean?
So everyone knows I get up early for work, but just recently, not even recently, before that, I've changed that since I wrote that. I've changed my schedule since I wrote that. So, but just say on that schedule, what I was talking about then. So I get up 12:30. Oh, that's when I was getting up. 12:31. Maybe it'd be 12:30 because
that is when I'm finishing my day. By the way,
okay. So my schedule's actually not that far from different now. Now I just get up at midnight. So I set my alarm for 12.
Wait, you get up at midnight?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Why? Can I just
start work at 2.
What do you mean 2? Why 2
a.m.?
Yeah, 2 a.m. What are you doing at 2 a.m.?
Training people.
You're training people at 2 a.m. Yeah. Chris is soft too. Chris hasn't gone to bed yet at 2 a.m.
I know. Because I text heaps of clients when I get up and they haven't been to bed yet. Sweet.
All right, so 2 a.m. you train clients.
That's when I start, yeah.
I need to know the mindset behind that. You've got to tell me, no, you've got to go deep. I want to know because you know something I don't. I want to know. What is it? Why 2 a.m.? Besides you training people, you don't have to.
It kind of evolved, yeah. So when I first started doing PT, I was still teaching. So I'd do a couple of clients before work, a couple after. Yeah. So I'd do 6 and 7, go to work, come back, whatever. So it started at 6, right? But I've always done cardio. So then when I started doing PT full time.
What were you doing before PT?
High school teacher.
What?
High school teacher.
Mate, just stop. You don't look like a high school teacher.
Yeah, no, I look different.
And you're academic. You have to be.
No, you don't have to be that smart to be a teacher.
You know what? Chris, make sure that is a grab.
But you don't, you just need to know more than what the kids do that you're teaching them that day. Because once you're a teacher...
Yeah, but you went to uni. You went to uni.
Yeah. But I went to college. So I went to college on a sports scholarship for bodybuilding. Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
So Australian College of Physical Education.
Yeah.
I didn't study.
Oh, well.
No, but we still had to do the tests.
You're a wog. You work
tests
it out.
are easy to do. You just
got to do them.
You just got to, as long as you're in the room learning the content, the tests are always easy.
Yeah.
And assignments, back in the day, you could just change the names on other people's assignments.
You sound like me.
We had a system. So it was
you have to have a system. Did you hear that, Chris? You have to have a system.
You don't have to, don't get me wrong, teachers, there are really good teachers out there, but the majority of them are shit.
Yeah, I've never seen
so when you're a teacher, you can teach, what I was saying, but when you're a teacher, you can teach anything. Once you're in, if they need a math teacher
to cover
for a term, you can be a math teacher. If you need a
so you're do you know Mark is a PE teacher?
Mark who?
Gresher.
Yeah, Mark Gresher's my best mate.
From at Marsden Park.
He's my best mate.
I know. What I'm saying is
everything I have done he's copied.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is he gonna debate you on that?
There's no debate. The only thing he's never gotten as big as me or as tall as
me. You know what?
Okay, and I can prove that, right? You know what's funny? Every one of his photos, he's on his tippy toes.
Let me say something. The funniest thing is your podcast and his podcast is going to come back to back. his podcast is going to come out, and then the week after,
Show him
yours. You guys.
So he's first.
Well, we did him on Friday.
Okay.
So then you. But what I'm saying is, that's going to be a beauty. I reckon we do 2 podcasts in 1 week. That one we launched both of them. But very good. I love you, man.
So we've done because we've done that podcast together. Yeah. So
no. He's super cool. So all right. So you were a teacher. How long were you a teacher for?
I started teaching 22. I could teach when I was 21, but I was way too young to teach. So I went and worked for Dad for a year, then started casual teaching, and then so I started 23, finished at like 30-ish.
So
7 years?
All right,
90. What is that?
Yeah.
I was teaching from when I was 21. So let's just say 10 years.
All right. So you went teaching. You were basically more of Mark was a PE teacher, but you were more about sports science teacher.
No,
PE teacher. High school. And then, was that what you did most of the 10 years, or did they slot you anywhere, and then before you knew it, you were...
No, you're majority PE.
Yeah.
But then, you pick up classes. So I might have 6, 7 PE classes and 3 something else.
Tell me something. What were the students like with your demeanour, obviously being built strong? You look scary as well. So does Mark.
They were good.
They were good, yeah.
But you still get the kids that don't care.
Okay.
There's always kids that have got bigger, badder dads or bigger, badder brothers or just don't give a fuck.
How do you deal with them? How do you deal with them?
Oh, it was hard. But you just deal with them. It's in spurts. And generally, if they're going to have a go, those kids that are going to have a go at you like that, they've had a bad day. Or they're having a bad time.
So you've worked them out.
So if they get, more often than not, they're going to go off like that. I wouldn't debate them. I just could go.
You know what I like about that? You actually entered their shoes. You knew as yourself growing up.
If I come in the room here and I've not met you before, or I haven't spoken to you today, and I'm rude to you, it's not your fault. What the fuck have you done?
No.
So obviously I'm going through some shit.
Yeah.
So whereas if I could egg kids on to get them to do that.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't that scenario, then that's the only scenario that.
All right. So you were a teacher. Wow, you just blew my mind. And it's like I said, that's why I said you can never work out anybody. And you don't actually have it on your profile. Where Mark did say he was a PE teacher.
I was fired.
Huh?
I was fired.
Doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't really
matter. But it's like...
And all right, let's go one more. You said you worked with your dad what did your dad do?
Dad just ran the storage locker trolleys when the video games were at the airport.
Yep.
All the vending machines.
Yep.
That kind of stuff at the airport. So... At that time, he was still looking after the trolley, everything like that. Then they had a storage room where, if you're in between flights, or if you landed in Sydney, you were going to Melbourne for a month, but you came from America and you had 3 bags you don't need, you put it in storage. I just manned that 8 hours a day, and I just did that through college, and then the year after college.
All right, wow. So let's go to this 2 a.m. thing. So you started doing PT full time.
So it just evolved. So the vast majority of the time I was being a PT, I'd start work at 4 each, 4 or 5.
Yep.
And then it's just like, okay, well, I don't say no to clients too. So it's like, someone wants to train at this time, cool.
So who are can I just ask, who are your 2 a.m.
My 2 a.m. is a butcher.
The butcher, yeah.
Yeah. And he trains 5-6 days.
You know what surprises me? I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? Because I did shift work. I was in IT.
Mm-hmm.
I was in IT.
Yeah.
And I was telling Chris, my shift would start 7 till 3, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
3 p.m, 11 p.m, and 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. So I guess if I finished at 11 p.m. and I needed a personal trainer, there you were.
Yep.
So you'd be there. What time do you go to bed?
8:39-ish.
8:30, so 4 hours.
Look, the majority of the time I've been PTing, I get 4 hours.
Is that enough for you?
Yeah. But before my kid was born, I'd work 4 to 8 p.m. 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. straight through 6 days, or 5 days a week, half day Saturday. Then, or just as he's getting closer to get born, I was like, I'm going to pull up a little bit here. So I started to kind of if a client dropped off, I'd just let them drop off, and I'd try and move some afternoon clients into the morning spots to get them used to it, and then it kind of worked out like, and part of it was luck. Part of it was how much I worked previously in the relationships I built up. But now I've got it to a spot where it's literally 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-ish, 12-ish, and then I'm done.
So what I want to know is, because you said it, you said it somewhere in one of the questions. Let me find it quickly. You said in the Unbreakable podcast. Okay, you were on the Unbreakable podcast. You said you spoke about PT, and it's a business to you. In other words, you don't look at it to be recreational in between it. You're like, this is how it works. We are here Monday to Friday. Or even whatever the week is, boom, 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 where people shut off at 10 o'clock.
Well, there's heaps of PTs that just do a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours at night.
Yeah.
Which is mad. Like, that's their lifestyle. That's good. That's why I became a teacher.
Yeah.
I work 6 hours a day, get 12 weeks off a year.
Yeah,
the bell rings when it's time to eat.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lifestyle choice.
Yeah, of course.
Like, a lifestyle choice is for them to work those hours or whatever. Yeah. But when I did that, I wanted to make it a business.
Well, you did. And tell me, are you, and forgive my word I'm going to use, but are you the most, again, the word is, are you the most aggressively driven PT that you do those kind of hours? Like, is there anyone that you see, they can do it? Or is this a hard, like, you have to be tough to do what you do as a PT?
I'm not going to say that anyone can do it. Like, if everyone...
not everyone can do it, bro.
If everyone had a drive, that's
what I'm saying. Are you that driven?
I don't know every PT, so I can't talk on every single PT.
Yeah. But
I don't think you could put someone in the room that's going to outwork me, period.
There you go.
Like, there's always... If someone asks, can you do this? There's always like nah, or like, I'll see like a post or a story go up from other trainers or whatever, full or at capacity or like only one spot left. I'm like, no, you don't. There's like 24 hours a day. Yeah. There's plenty of time. Like, everyone's got plenty of time. You just got to make time for it. I can't talk on other people.
Hi, I'm Yvonne, the founder of Rock Creek.
I'm Steve, Muscle Talks podcast.
We're thrilled at Rock Creek to announce the fact that we're collaborating with Muscle Talks. We're really excited at the opportunity to present our hemp protein product range of pancake mixes and brownie mixes. We also have a fantastic range of toasted granolas and magnesium. So please come to rockcreek.com.au, go to our online store.
And while you're there, type in Muscle Talks 10 to get 10% off. Now go to rockcreek.com.au.
But you just said something which I have to respect, and any good person, business person, competitor, whatever it is, you said you don't enter the room unless you want to be the best in the room. In other words, you're going to...
No, but that's not true either.
But what I'm saying is, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it at your best.
Yeah.
You're not worried about anyone else, but you're not going to be like everyone else. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say to you, like, you can do. You said,
but I'm a bit of a chameleon too, because, like, I can be there, but I don't need to be like at 100.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I'll pick my spots. So, especially with people I have clients that just want to come and have a chat. So I'm still working, I'm still there, but I'm not like, I'm kind of in neutral. I'm not going to, there's no effort really.
Yep.
They'll still get pushed, but I'm not needed to push. I don't need to really work hard.
You know what
they
need. You know what
Whereas
they need.
if a guy's coming in who's like prepping or someone really needs like the motivation, they're trying to lose weight, or like an athlete comes in that's competing, like, they know their shit, and I need to switch on, you can switch on. Yes.
So I get you. You know, I get you why you said the chameleon. All right, well then let's look at, again, just recently, the 4th of August, you said rehab's over. You said rebuilding season now, right? So currently you're sitting at 125 kilos, is that right?
Was that, yeah.
That was what it was? Okay, that's what you're at. You spoke about intermittent fasting, right? We spoke about a bit about that. What do you think about this intermittent fasting?
Look, the one thing, I'm not married to nothing.
Yeah.
Like my wife, yeah. But I mean, in terms of ideas, everything works within reason.
Yep.
I've never been a fan of intermittent fasting, but I fucking love food.
Yeah.
And it made no sense to me to why anyone trying to get bigger, which is what pretty much we all try and do, even though if people don't say so, they're trying to do it.
Yeah.
Subconsciously. The intermittent fasting makes no sense to my brain because we need a constant drip of amino acids, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It goes back to whatever. But so I wouldn't recommend it for everyone. I wouldn't if you're a 25-year-old kid, no, I don't want to eat in the morning. No, you having breakfast. Do you know what I mean? But as you get older, as your work schedule is different, as your life goals change, whatever, if it can work for you, like go for it.
Yeah.
So I just thought, post-surgery, when I have a meal, my stomach's not bloated, but like full.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a point where it's a bit uncomfortable because there's still inflammation, swelling, all that stuff. So I was like, I want to go back to work. I went back to work like early, but I can't go to work and have food in my stomach because it's fucking uncomfortable to be at work, period.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just not going to eat until I finish work.
I guess it also teaches you something. Like, not that you want to be taught.
No,
but
I guess the operation post-op taught me something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fasting is like
What I'm saying is post-operation.
That post-op
is teaching you something.
That taught me about you can, like me personally, I can intermittent fast.
Yeah, that's
Do you know
what
what I mean? So I didn't eat for 6.5 days.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't drink water for 3.5 days. Like it goes okay. So I was expecting, and like 4 weeks prior, I got off all gear and that. So because I was like, I'm going to be out for a while for the op. I might as well just not use nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And I expected my weight to plummet. I didn't know that I was not going to eat post-op for 6 days. I didn't know that. I actually thought I was going to have the operation. I was going to be out at home on the Friday.
Did it concern you?
No, I didn't know that. I thought I was coming home the next day.
Oh, right. Okay.
I just heard keyhole. Yeah, that's it. Everyone I speak to, I'll be home Friday. I'll chill out on the weekend. I'll be back to work Monday. Like,
yes.
I got dropped off at the hospital. I said to my dad, I'll see you Monday. I said to everyone just thought I was home. My missus, everyone thought I was going to be home.
Keyhole, like you said.
Then I got out of surgery. I was like, this is rough. And then the doctor said, you probably won't go home till the following weekend. I was like, the fuck? Like, what do you mean? He goes, and then, because the operation took 7 hours, so I was out for 7. Okay, so it's a big operation. And then he explained to me what happened, and I was like, okay, so you only went in keyhole, everything else was massive.
So can I just ask what happened? What was
No,
the
I had a split, my abdominal wall split.
Yes.
Whether it's genetic or not, because my cousin's got a slight split in his too. And it's been there for a long time, but it's gotten progressively worse over time.
Well, and what was the inconvenience? Like, were you a lot of pain?
No pain. This is what I said. So I had a hernia in my belly button, and I had the distension was caused by the split. The split was from maybe the top part of the abs, maybe in between the top 2 abs, and it went down about 5 centimeters below my belly button, ish. So it just whenever I couldn't bring my stomach in. There was always a distension.
Okay, yes.
And then when I drank, in the morning, it was quite flat. I could hold it in if I needed to hold it in, but if I let go, it just be out, right? And then it got worse, obviously, with food in there and etc. How much we eat and whatever. And I was always a big eater and I consumed a lot of water and whatever. But I was in zero pain, and it didn't really concern me at all, because I was in no pain. I've copped shit for it here and there for years because it's like bodybuilding and the bubble gut shit here and there.
Aesthetically, yeah.
But that's the reason why that's what it was. It was not like a painful thing but then I went and saw a surgeon about it, and he then said, if you don't fix it, you start to develop internal hernias. And then I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to get it done, now is as good as time.
Yeah.
And then he said, no problem, I can fix it, keyhole. I was like, keyhole, yeah, sweet. So they stitched. What it was, the way I could describe the way it was if your stomach's like that. So when you eat, it's kind of held, Mine was like a broken gate. So whenever I ate, the abs separated and it was just held by the skin, so it would come out. So it just go like that, that.
Yes.
So sometimes I could pull in, but it'd still be, and then just over time. So, but whether that's a blessing or a curse, because I could eat, so whether that volume of food that I can consume over the period of time helped me put on my size or whatever.
Yes.
Because I can't eat that now.
No.
I could go eat 6-7 burgers, no sweat. Now 2, I'm cooked. Like, so it's
maybe it's a good thing.
We can go.
We're going to talk about food.
But yeah, like, and that's all it was. So
then tell me, you said something about that you're back to a 4-day split. Is that right? Is that what you're training at the moment?
Yes, everyone talks about splits and whatever. So I'm trying.
Can I ask you, because you're old school bodybuilding, and I know back in the old days we had 7 days and we smashed up 7 days. That's how we trained. Every week was a new week. Winter was winter. That was gains time. Summer was summer. That was kind of like everyone's comp because it was the beach time. You wanted to walk from down at La Perouse or from Bondi.
So organically, you guys just based on the season and the weather and how you dress, we
trained that way. Everyone did. You did as well. What I'm saying is, so what about you? Because I noticed you said if I'm going to do a 5-day split, I'm hitting legs twice. Do you still think in the week we should hit things twice sometimes?
Look, this is going to be personal because everyone's different, I can't train high intensity, heavy, fucking up the central nervous system, like burying yourself into a hole. I can't come out of it because I don't sleep enough.
Right, you can't.
Okay.
I was going to ask you about the sleep bit, yes.
So I've had to alter my training to a point where
it marries in with your sleep.
It marries in with my sleep. So it's detrimental to me to train the way I was when I was 25 because I'd be putting myself into a hole that I'm not going to come out of at all. Right? In terms of other people, it just depends on what they do. Like everyone you see on YouTube that's a pro bodybuilder, they just eat, sleep, and train all day.
Yeah, that's right.
Eat, sleep, no work. Okay, so that 8 hours where everyone else is at work, they're sleeping, they're resting. So they can go and do the 2-day splits. They can go and train like a motherfucker because they're at home for the next 8 hours chilling. Whereas if you go train like that and then napping, remember too. If you train like that, then you've got to go work for 8 to 10 hours and then you're only going to get 4 hours sleep. There's no point training like that. Whereas if you have a lifestyle where you can get the 8 to 10 hours sleep, by all means, like do your push, pull, legs, etc. But I don't feel I can train hard enough to do more than to do multiple muscles in a workout because I can't put the intensity into it. So therefore it's not getting the volume. Because I'll need to do more volume because it's less intense.
And the thing is, what you're saying as well is to smash some. So in other words, it's a little bit like the Dorian Yates mentality. Is that correct? If I train like Dorian Yates, I'd probably get smaller. Right. I can't train that hard. And you got to remember too. So if you're going to train super intense with super heavy weight, doing like ridiculously really tough compound movements on no sleep, you're going to get injured too. That's what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is Dorian Yates took a lot of rest time. So what you're saying is you need a lot of rest time because you don't get enough rest time. I'm the opposite. What do you mean? Because I need intensity, but I can't afford to lift weights or risk getting injured because I have no sleep. So my workouts are fast-paced with lighter weights. I just make sure I get a good pump. But then control what I can control. So it doesn't matter if I'm eating 100% and sleeping and not sleeping at all because I'm still eating 100%. I'll control that. And I won't bury myself in the gym because I'm not getting sleep. I can control that. The sleep is, and I choose to do the sleep thing. So you're saying, because there's a lot of myths. I'm even going to come to the food part in a second with you now. So you're telling me with your lifestyle at the moment, but this has been the last 8 years. Yeah, of course. I'm bigger than when I used to be a teacher and when I used to compete by at least 20 kilo. But what I'm saying is, but there's a myth. Everyone keeps saying, you're saying repetition, pump, blood flow is going to make you grow.
No, okay.
No? So what's going to make you grow? That's what I want to ask.
That will make you grow.
That will make you grow.
But you need to be on point with your food and that too. Heavy weight will make you grow too.
Yeah.
Right? Giant sets will make you grow. Supersets will make you grow. But it depends on the person and their lifestyle factors and everything. So you got to work it out. The whole game's trial and error.
Yes.
Right? My legs never grew until I started doing single leg movements.
Right.
I haven't squatted in 10 years. I haven't deadlifted in 10 years. I haven't done a bent. Like I haven't done
I've
nothing.
seen your legs, man.
I haven't done a squat. I haven't done a heavier leg press than like 300-400 kilos max.
So you're doing a lot of lunges and one-legged leg press?
Yep.
Is that what you're doing? Because you've got
Single leg
monsters.
movements.
Yeah, single leg movements.
And then if I do a double leg movement, it's my last exercise.
How did you know? Like, meaning, I find it hard to, like, we're creatures of habit. Like, we're too afraid to let go of something, to try something new. You know,
I was buried after leg days.
Yeah.
Plus, I got sick of fucking taking the weights off the machine.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just like, and it kind of like, and there was one prep too. I had single leg press in my routine, and that was when my legs looked the best. And I was like, so I must have been subconsciously, but I kind of just organically moved into it, like, and it started to work. So if I show anyone my leg workouts, they laugh. Like that, you couldn't like. You'd laugh at them on paper. Then when you did it, it makes sense.
But
don't get me wrong. If I didn't do all the heavy shit from 20 or from 15 or 16 to 30, I don't know if I could get away with it doing this as well. Because plus I've got all these years of training, and your quality of rep becomes better than back then too. So my 15 kilos on a single leg extension was probably doing more benefit to my quad than doing the stack for 20 times 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Because the engagement and the recruitment's better.
Yeah. Are you methodical, you think?
Nah, I'm the opposite. I don't think about fucking nothing.
No?
Nah.
Fuck, you sound like you do, babe, because everything is like...
Everything's just there. I don't think about it. If I can't control it, I don't think about it.
Right, okay.
So it's I do. So I don't think about it, I just do it.
Right.
And if I do it and it don't work, I just won't do it again.
Okay.
But you won't catch me thinking or dwelling or contemplating or writing in a journal or fucking manifesting or like I won't do that, but I can fall asleep like that because I don't think.
Beautiful.
Do you know, and that's the thing. Like and generally people that can't fall asleep are like deep thinkers and they think about everything and blah blah blah. Yeah.
No, I like it. Oh, I sleep well myself, but like I said, I was telling Chris this morning, I'll tell you, like I said to you, some of the best gains, not gains, I'm not talking about weight gains, some of my best financial moves, some of my best business moves weren't journaling, wasn't even getting up at 5 a.m. Sometimes I was running late. Sometimes I was just go pedal.
When you're not thinking.
And I was having bigger success. Now it's like set the alarm clock for 5 o'clock, write a journal, fucking read a book, like all these distractions.
But it's even
where
the
before I was just like running like a bat out of hell, and it was working. Like we're talking about, I'd be like, what I'm saying to you is, someone will go, you got to see this. Let's say this car. You'd be right. Let's get in the car now. We're going to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Drop in the car. It was some GT. We just go see it. And then we go, fucking buy it now and fucking bring the rattler home. But now it's like, can you give me a bit more of an explanation?
Yeah.
Fucking can you?
I've always said this, don't bore me with details. But this is what got me in trouble with the surgery.
Yeah,
And my missus lost it. She goes, why do you ask questions? I go, what the fuck am I going to ask a question about? I'm not doing the surgery. I asked, can he do it? Yes, I can. I said, and then he was trying to sell it to me. I said, stop. I said, when can you do it? He gave me 2 dates. And then I said, how much? That was the conversation. I shook his hand and I left. She goes, why do you ask this question? I go, what's it matter?
Chris, you better be writing that. Chris is 24.
But even with my PT, and
this is how you do things.
You could walk in, and I'll say, what are we training?
I love it.
And then it's off cuff.
Yeah, I think that's how you, like I said, I just feel all this bullshit talk about success and these patterns, and I've been a fool to not fall for these patterns, to believe it, but then I look back and I say, mate, I was like a bat out of hell when I did things. We're talking about, it was like go, no thinking, make decisions, lose money, make money, right decision, wrong decision. It didn't matter as long as we were kind of, I don't know, feeling like you were moving in places. But now...
But playing devil's advocate on that, there are people that need to do that. Do you know? And there are there are successful people that do that, and I know a few. I know a few of them personally.
Well, I've got a
but
question
I still put shit on them about it. But
Yeah,
they need to do that. Whereas some people think they need to do that, and then some people need to sell that they do that. So
No, I want to bring something up. That's why I've got it here. Just give me a second. Not that one. Let me find the. Not that one. Where is it? We'll get to it. I want to know. Let's talk food because there's a big thing about food at the moment. You know, like everyone's sitting there, and I can see you are old school, and you mentioned something about that even on that podcast you were on, right? You're not science. You are very gym bro stuff. Like you just go do it. How do you feel at the moment about all this talk at the moment on the calories in, calories out, when we all know, you know yourself, all right, you're talking fat loss, but why are you bashing it to people that want to put gains on? Because their mentality of food choice hasn't got enough amino acids, because you can eat a Tim Tam if you want, you can go have a chocolate cake if you want, you can go have anything you want, but that's not going to help you in bodybuilding. What do you think about that? And also, last thing I want to say quickly, meal frequency. I know when I used to go see Terry and I go, I want to grow, the first thing he said to me was, train harder, you better be eating. But how did you feel up before the gym? And are you fueling after your workout? Because they're frequencies.
Yep.
What do you think about all that?
it depends on the purpose of the person, right? The problem is when everybody that talks about that in our space is into fitness.
Yeah.
Right?
Losing weight.
So they're into fitness. They all train. Yeah. So the whole calorie in, calorie out thing doesn't make sense if you're into fitness.
Yeah.
Okay. So because if I go and eat 2,000 calories protein and fat versus 2,000 calories carbohydrates, I'm gonna look different regardless of in or out.
Yeah.
Okay. You can still. I'm not saying you won't lose weight, won't put weight on. You're still gonna look different.
Yeah.
So in this space, that's all that really matters.
That's right.
If you go into a space where they don't train, my missus doesn't train. Yeah. Hates the gym.
Yeah.
Okay? She goes calories.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's,
and she looks like she trains.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't concern her about fuel, like how much fuel she needs to train, blah, blah, blah. All she gives a fuck about is, have I eaten less calories than I need to keep skinny?
Yeah.
Right? Not about performance, not about PRs, nothing. Am I full? Am I flat today? It's like, fuck, I've got 300 calories left tonight. Mate, I'm going to go have that ice cream. Do you know what I mean? Or she goes, I've only got 200 calories or 50 calories left. I'm just going to have a rice cake. Yeah. That's because they don't train. What do they give a fuck? No. Whereas if you're in the space, you can still get away with a certain amount of calorie and talk, but you've got to go one step further and look at your macros.
Yes.
Don't talk calorie in, talk macro in, macro out.
Yes.
That way you can fuck around with it that way. Because calories don't really even matter as long as you're hitting macros. Yeah. So someone will ask me, well, how many calories am I? Fuck, if I know, use my diet, work it out. But I'll know roughly my macro, protein, carb, fat in and out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then you go to the next step. What are you doing pre and post workout, and kind of work backwards from there, depending on how you want to feel. Yeah. So
we had an Olympic bodybuilder on here. Her name is Chelsea Dion, right? She's, I think she's at the moment inside the top 8 of the women, right? And she spoke that, what's his name that trains all the big bodybuilders? He's trained Sebum, he's trained Hania. He said when he spoke to her, he goes to her, you should go on a keto diet and bring up your fat a bit more, fat in your diet. And she said it changed dramatically. So there's, like you said, there's a science behind it. It's not just these calories in, calories out, but I think it's
like the leanest I got last year, and it evolves over time. Yeah. Right? Like the leanest I got before last Christmas, my protein was like 450 high. Yeah. I was on 50 grams of carbs a day, and my fat was like 150, 200. Yep. But I felt like shit training. I looked cracker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I felt like shit training. Yeah. No gas in the tank.
Yeah. It's just that I think these guys have entered this space and they keep talking about calories in, calories out, but it's not really bodybuilding. What I mean is, it is, but it's not. What I mean is, bodybuilding is more complex. Yes. And also they talk about, like one guy said, I'm not going to mention names, he said, if you eat, what was that Cunny's guy, whatever his name, what's his name? What's the Cunny's guy's name? Adam. The thing is, what he said was,
Adam who?
Adam Sulo. He said, even if you eat 1,000 calories, and I know you're going to say it depends for everyone. What I'm trying to say is, he said, even if you eat 2,000 calories at 10 o'clock at night, but that was all your calories for the day, that's 2,000 calories. But it doesn't work in bodybuilding.
To a degree, it depends. Do you have the tissue already? Like, I've been.
So tell me, you need frequency, don't you? You've done a big workout. Are you telling me when you finish your workout, your leg workout, you're okay not to eat for 6 hours or 8 hours? Or do you know your optimum time?
Are you talking to someone who has muscle already or is trying to build muscle?
Trying to build muscle.
Okay, no, you have to eat.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. You've got to qualify the person you're trying to talk about. Yeah. This guy who's saying, if he's talking on a personal experience or he's just talking in general, if he's talking in general, he's wrong already, because you can't speak on general on anybody because everyone's different, right? But if he's talking on himself, he might already be a big motherfucker. So or whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. But if he's saying and it's, again, what they say. Generally, the people that say the most outlandish shit look like shit, but aren't qualified either. The people that talk sense, they don't have to necessarily look good, but they'll generally talk sense. Or offer a variety of opinions and not really discredit anyone else's opinion. And then those that look good, obviously, trial and error themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So it depends on who's saying what as well. I don't know who that guy is, so I can't.
It's not. Look, I see his point. I'm not saying I don't see his point.
But he might also just be saying it for social media.
Hey guys, this is our classic toasted granola from Rock Creek. In this, we're using organic coconut oil. We're using locally sourced raw honey. It's got almonds, pepitas, oats, coconut, and we'd love you to try it. Buy it at rockcreek.com.au, use Muscle Talks 10 code and get your 10% off.
I've seen this Neubie machine. I've seen you dragging people around looking like they've just done surgery with you. You said if your shoulders take over from your chest workout or your tricep fatigues early, to properly fatigue before you're surrounding around this kind of machine. So what you're saying is sometimes you think you've got a chest workout, but you haven't had a chest workout. So this machine details it a little bit more. You also mentioned you had, I saw you had Kayla.
Yep.
And you put Kayla through the ringer, and she actually said at the end she's never felt she'd done a glute exercise like this before. So tell me a little bit about that.
So it's a neuromuscular re-education tool.
Right.
That's what the machine is. So the way they started with it and the way they predominantly use it in the States is a rehab machine.
Right.
Right, from multiple sclerosis, anything nerve.
Yeah.
Anything predominantly nerve, stroke, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's what they're using this for. It basically mimics the signal your brain sends to the muscle.
Yeah.
The machine does the same.
Yeah.
To the muscle.
Yep.
All right. So the way that we use it, the way that I use it, is with training. We do rehab too, but like just say predominantly in terms of we want to increase muscle, whatever.
Yeah.
Put the pads on the muscle, therefore the whole muscle belly will work. So when we go to the gym now, we're using 65% of the muscle.
Right.
Your body will naturally keep 35%, whatever, in reserve for flight or fight.
Okay.
And that's just the thing from back in the day, right?
That's what it is, yeah.
And they've done studies on like Olympians and whatever, like Usain Bolt only uses that 65% of his muscle belly. So, and he's top. So we're all probably using less.
Yeah.
Right? You put the pads on the muscle, you automatically use 100%.
Wow. What does it feel like?
So it feels like pins and needly initially, but then what you mainly feel is your strength and contraction. So you actually understand what a proper contraction feels like. Like,
wow.
Way I just like, so it's, but this is why. So you're using 35% roughly more muscle for your workout. So your initial few workouts, your pump's off its head. You won't have ever had a pump post workout like it.
Wow.
Okay, because you've got to have at least a 35% more pump, right?
Yeah.
But nothing's for free. That 35% of muscle that's never been trained is like you're walking into the gym after 10 years of training and training it for the first time.
So you're saying it's like
the
that.
soreness is fucked.
So you're talking about, remember the days where you did a leg workout and you couldn't go down the stairs?
Okay, no. That's nothing. Okay, imagine you've been training since what? You've been training, say, 30 years, right?
Yeah, I started training 18, I'm 55.
Okay. Go back and train like you're at your peak. After, say, 10 years.
I can't do it.
No.
You're right.
But the first time you walked into the gym.
Yeah, I know how I trained. I trained crazy.
So if you train like that the first time you ever walked into the gym, you'd be fucked.
I know.
That's what it's like training the newbie for the first time for that 35%. But the pump is 35% bigger, but the soreness is debilitating at best because it's that 35's never been trained before.
What is the edge for that? What I'm asking is, okay, so you're getting that, you're smashing, it's about smashing your muscle.
It's all breaking down the muscle. So the machine makes you contract harder. I can control your contraction. So the frequency goes up to 500. 500 is the frequency they use for rehab.
Yep.
The lower the number of frequency, the harder your contraction. So like, and we don't even need to get into numbers because no one will understand, but I use three main numbers, 40, 75, and 55. That's kind of your hypertrophy range.
Yeah.
For instance, if you do dumbbell press for chest and you're repping 12 reps with 50s, you're not going to do 35 for 12 reps, right? Because I'm going to make your contraction that much harder. Therefore, if you make anything harder, you can't lift as much weight.
I was going to ask you.
But you will build back up to it if you use it frequently.
Yeah,
and become kind of like normal. But so me training you on the machine, I will control your contractions. I can make your muscle think a 10 kilo weight is 40.
Oh my God.
So you're doing 10 kilo bicep curls, but I'm cranking the contractions, the muscles thinking, hey, motherfucker, this is like 40.
Whoa.
But you're only using 10 kilos, therefore your joints are going, hey, motherfucker, these are only 10.
And at the same time,
zero. So joints are not meant to be load bearing. When we go in the gym, we make all our joints load bearing. Using the machine, because 100% of the muscle's working, the joints come to help the muscle not working properly. You make the muscle work 100%.
And the joints don't get damaged.
They're just joints again.
Yes, yeah. When you utilize that and you utilize it with some of your athletes, I've watched it. Is it imperative that they have to make sure that everything else is in check, their diet?
So anyone who comes to me that's on a diet with another coach like Kayla or anyone who's getting, and I train heaps of
you spoke about
people,
Troy Thornton and all that.
All them guys, right? And coaches will send their clients to me because I'm not going to poach them. Good, right? So I'll recommend 50 to 100 grams extra carbs, whether it's intra during the workout or post. Right, and that was worked out through me using the machine. Okay, so that would be the only thing I'd recommend, and then it'd just be frequency of how often you'd use the machine. Because from a business standpoint, I'd be like, you got to use it every day. Yeah. But in actual fact, it fucks your CNS that bad. You can't recover if you're using it every day.
So, like you said, coaches will say, "Go see Jimmy. We need to increase this."
If you have a lagging body part and you don't train with me off season or pre-comp, you're a fucking moron.
Wow.
Because you're like,
I'm not laughing at that. I believe it.
You will bring your whatever the lagging muscle is up.
It's good to, like I said, it's good to know.
And I'd bet my house on that.
I can tell the way you're saying it. Yeah. I've just wondered, but no, you're right. And now it makes sense. When you said coaches bring their clients to you, firstly knowing that you don't pinch them, so it's a relationship of trust. But they also know that what you've got to offer is the edge they need. Because if they're saying you're not going to get there if we don't get you the edge.
No, I'm not saying you're not going to. Okay, they're going to get there, but if you've trained something for 15 years and you haven't got it yet, you're not going to get it. Yeah,
there's a reason.
But if I can give you something that
we'll
in
pop
12
it.
weeks,
Yeah. No,
why not?
No. I think I can see.
If you've got a shit connection, I can fix that. So like if you like some people might generally people with jacked shoulders and big arms and a shit chest have got a weak chest connection, muscle mind connection. Yeah,
I think so. I do. Mate.
In a workout, I can improve that. You just come and do one workout on it. The machine will stimulate the mind muscle connection. You go away and you'll have a better workout moving forward than you did previously.
Like I said to you, it makes a lot of sense. Because when I was flicking through and I saw Kayla with you, and you mentioned it about Troy Thornton and all that. He's going to come on the podcast shortly too. What I'm getting at is, I was thinking, God, they work together. There must be something like I said, like you don't usually see.
No, it's true, yeah, because she lives up the coast.
Yeah.
Transit same gym up there.
Yeah.
And I said, whenever you're in the city, come have a sesh.
Yeah.
And then because I asked, what is it like? What's it do? Like, what's it feel like? Let's fucking try it.
She's been on the podcast. She's a great kid.
And that's the thing. If people haven't tried it, it's even hard to explain actually how it feels until you work it out, until you have a go. Then you have a go and you're like, okay.
Well, I'll tell you something. I was writing notes about it, and only when I saw the meet we did with Kayla, and I saw her expression at the end, because I've had her on the podcast, I knew it must be fucking serious because she mentioned it. We're going to do a little philosophy question at the moment, right? We're going to go off track. All right, I said to you at the beginning, Sadek means always truthful. That's what it says. So in the Bible, it says a firm display of inner essence. And in the Quran, it says the conformity between word and deed. What I'm saying is, do you think in the world today we have people that are truthful? Do you think, how do you see the world today in relation to people's actions and their words and their deeds?
Right, well, not everyone's truthful.
No?
There's truthful people.
Yeah?
Yes.
Where do you stand in relation to truth?
In terms of what, myself or
yourself and me personally, I don't waver from truth. And the reason I don't waver from truth, I'm not going to bring in a religious podcast. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying to you is, the reason I talk with truth is because I don't. When I say I don't care that you're in the room with me, I always bring God in the room with me.
Yeah.
And I don't worry what you think of me when you leave. I worry, how did I talk to you, and what bullshit did I give you, and who was also listening to me. So if you question me leaving, I don't care about that, because I don't need to be questioned, because I'm the truth. So how do you feel about that? In
that regard, then whether you are my best friend or you don't know me, you probably think of me two different ways, but I'll treat you the same.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, in that regard, I'm not going to say in the truth part, like, I've never lied. Like, I've lied.
Yeah.
But I'm not lying. I'm not portraying a lie.
Yeah.
So how I come across here is how I am if you see me in real life.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or how I am on Instagram if someone walks into the gym and sees me, I'm the exact same.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no act, or there's no like show, or there's no blown out performance because something's on or something's not on, or you're in one crowd against the other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's to me that is truthful.
Yeah.
So other people have to do that. Like other people have to have another personality, and that's how they make money on social media or whatever. And then other people just blatantly lie about shit.
Yeah. Like I said to you, only because
but also, in saying that too, whatever reason anyone does something, they've got their own reason. Yeah. You might not agree with it, or you might think it's silly, but like at that time, to them, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there might not be motives behind it. It's just, to them, it's a good idea. Or if someone fucks you over, it's okay, they fucked you over, but they were doing it for themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's perspective too. It's how you look at it. And 10 years ago, I would have looked at it way different. Looked at that stuff way different.
How did you look at it 10 years ago?
I'd be combative about it. Like, that guy fucked me over. I want to fucking get him back or whatever. But
why are you so way different now?
I don't care anymore. Like,
No?
Everyone says having a kid changes you.
It couldn't have changed you overnight. You would have been...
It doesn't change overnight, but it kind of puts things in perspective where I'm not combative at all with anything at the moment. I'm like, it's cool, whatever, because I'm not going to waste my time fighting with this person here when I can just be enjoying my time over here. But I've realised over time that people, like, if someone does something to you with malice, right? Yeah, it's fucked and it's shit and they're probably a bad person, but majority of the time that won't happen. If someone does something to you, it's because of a situation they're going through or an opportunity that they see in front of them that they choose to take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that's all based on moral standpoint. Like if I see $50 floating down the middle of the road and nobody's around, I'm taking the 50.
Yeah, of course.
But if I see $50 coming dropping out of your pocket, I'm going to give you a $50 back. Yeah.
I gotcha.
So the acts, I'll do both acts.
Yeah,
whereas some people will take the 50 and take the 50. But then there's some people as well that will then take this 50, go work out who that 50 come from, and give the 50 back to that person.
Yeah, no, there's some.
They're better people than me.
Yeah.
So it's.
I like how you viewed that. Also the fact that you view not only how you're feeling, you're thinking, what are these guys going through? Like you're actually looking at the perspective of them as well. So you're not taking it personal, are you?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Is
you will take
you could.
And even initially, I would. I do take it personally, but I don't let it resonate with me. Before, I'd let it live in my head, and I'd get the shits about it, and hold vendettas and grudges and whatever. Where now I'm like, all right, cool.
Do you think it works better for you now?
100%.
Do you think why?
Because I'm in control of any situation, good or bad, that happens to me. I'm in control of.
Yeah.
So whether someone does wrong by me letting it go,
you chose it.
I chose to do that. So it's my decision. Whereas if I waited for them to come and apologise, they're still in power. And then what if they never apologise? I lose.
That's big.
So you want to win all the time. If you want to win, just be in control of the situation.
I'm a fucking taking everyone at the moment, man. There's a lot of crooks
out there. And I used to be like that. So I think if you want to...
I was like you, Bart. At the moment, I've been pulled in.
Yeah, because you're probably now getting... You're seeing all these fitness people and they're all toxic motherfuckers and they're writing off now.
It's not... No, to be honest, it's... I mean, yes and no. No, it's not the fitness people, to be honest. I know you could presume I'm talking about the fitness people. It's not. Trust me, I'm like you. I do look at the kitchen. I look at a lot of things. It's more like...
But it doesn't bother you. It's like you shouldn't...
That doesn't bother me. What bothers me... What bothers me is... Have you seen the movie The Godfather?
Yeah.
All right. You know where Al Pacino says, just when I wanted to get out, they pull me back in. I feel like sometimes I don't want to be a part of anything. I don't want to be a part of trouble. I'm not talking about the bodybuilding industry.
No, I understand.
I'm saying in general. But then some motherfucker takes you back to your dark place. And you don't mean to go there, but you know the only way I can finish this person is the dark area. Like, I want to stay light, but they want dark.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've got to turn up dark because that's where they've got you. Like, does that make sense?
No, it does.
Yeah, so...
I've never, see, I don't know, it's a strange... I know exactly what you're saying, and...
I feel that I was telling... What I'm saying...
More so, if it's to do with me, that'll never happen. Me personally. But it was like being protective over your friends or your family... that's a different story. Like you could go back into that.
That's what I'm saying to you. That's what
yes.
I don't worry about what anyone's doing, and there's nothing to do with this bodybuilding industry. To be honest, I'm not looking. Just to let you know, I'm not looking at this as a bodybuilding industry. I look at it as a business in the bodybuilding industry.
Yeah.
I look at like I have a coffee business. I look at my business in the coffee industry. I just want to know who's the best player, who does the best coffee, and how do I get the best clients. In this area, I just want to know who's the best bodybuilders. When I reached out to you, I knew you were a little bit skeptical.
I'm not the best bodybuilder.
No, hear me out.
Nor am I even a good bodybuilder.
No.
I'll say I'm the best PT, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, you are.
But you're skeptical, as in because there's heaps of fucking weirdos.
Yeah, but I know that when I reached out to you at the beginning. Because I know you'd be skeptical. Most have been skeptical of me. Don't worry about that. But I'm not worried how you think of me. I just know how I think of you and I'm running a business, which is a bodybuilding podcast, and I want you to come on because I think the people from the fence looking over, they're the ones that want to know about you. Like me, I want to know about you. As if you want to know about me. Who wants to know about me? So I'm the Jimmy Fallon of the Tonight Show.
I understand.
So that's why I'm saying. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel, like I said, I like your philosophy. I try to look at both sides of the story, but I do believe when you're a little bit more at peace and you let things go, you progress quicker. These people. That's what I feel anyway. That's how I feel. Viewers' questions. Let's go with the viewers' question. All right. Bruce from TikTok. He's asked the question, what is your view on hamstrings, training them, and achieving, well, he's saying a hanging hamstring. I'm assuming a really good beefy hamstring that accompanies the quads very nicely. So what's your thing?
It can come down to exercise selection, but it's not really the be all and end all. Like everyone's exercise selection needs to be determined based on whatever they want to, or what they enjoy doing. Does it work biomechanically for them? Blah, blah, blah. Like I might say to you, do deadlifts, but deadlifts might not work for you. With hamstrings, but it'd be the same as any body part. I would take, you need obviously volumization.
Yep, volume.
You need to put like some weight through it, so a good compound movement. And then you got to look at, okay, is your hamstring thick or is it long? And then what feels the best for you? Like I might say, I enjoy single leg curls, but I fucking hate RDLs.
Yeah.
RDLs might feel real good for you. You get a mad contraction where I only feel it in my lower back. So I'm going to lean more towards the curls. Whereas with you, when you're doing curls, you don't get that good of a contraction because your knee hurts. Therefore, you might be really good at a hinge movement. So it's not so much, it's whatever your routine is, just put everything into it and then feed it and it'll grow. And if it's not growing, swap the routine.
Well, I'll tell you what I've done in relation to my legs. And I got for my, look, I'm 85 kilos. I'm 84 kilos. I think symmetrically I'm all right. But what I'm getting at is, what I did was, I actually don't train
split them up.
I don't train quads and hammies anymore together. Where everybody smashes the quads, and then when they get to hamstrings, they just finish it off softly. Okay, so I decided. I decided. So when I walk in, today is I'll give you an example. Today is quads, calves, and bicep. Just two smalls with my quads, hit my quads really hard and go in with a bicep, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
and then hammies, I might hit hammies and I look to myself and I think I might just do some rear delts. Like I just, so what do you think about that?
Okay, I wouldn't do that.
No, I was throwing things out there.
Okay, do you actually do that?
What I do, or I'll tell you what my routine is.
I'll forget. In regards to his question, start every leg workout with 2 hamstring exercises. There you go, that's simple. And I've been doing that for a while now too, personally. That warms up your knee joints, it warms everything up, and it hits hamstrings while you're fresh.
Exercise.
And then you can pump out the rest of your leg routine, which will be more than likely quad dominant.
Okay. First, 1 second. First up. All right, so you wanted to know about my exercise. So what I did was, I decided, again, I'm not going to claim anything, but what I did was to grow my hammies, especially the last few years, and to grow my calves, which lacked, but I had very good quads because I trained quads very hard. Back in the day, Mitsos gym, squats real down low and mates spotting you. You knew when you went to the gym yourself, you always went, hey, buddy, I need you to spot me. Even if it was a stranger, you go, buddy. Even if it was a piss weak guy, whoever it was, and you know yourself, if some guy was going to squat big and he goes, Jimmy, can you come? You'd go walk, even though you were doing chest, you'd go over. That's a whole different era. So for me, I just said, you know what? I train, let's say, quads. Maybe I do 3 or 4 exercises, right? So, and they're 4 sets each. Yeah, warm-ups. So we're looking at 4 times 4 is 16 reps. So I decided, why do I want to hit hammies when I've hit quads so hard? So then I do quads the next day. So hammies the next day, and I do 4 exercises, 4 sets, 16 reps. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Was it the next day or just another day in the week?
This is what I try to do. I try to do when I hit quads and I hit them hard. The next day I might do, let's say it's chest, a push exercise. And then because I hit legs, quads, and I did a chest exercise, my legs rested. And then Wednesday I hit hammies and then I hit it hard. So I try to do it every second day. I hit the legs.
And that works. I think that works for you. It works. Like I'll split my legs up into 2 sessions, like a Thursday and a Sunday, or a Wednesday and a Sunday.
Okay, what do you do?
It generally plays, but when I'm like properly like training proper, like when I'm in my good, like say like this time last year or whatever, when I was full tilt.
Yeah.
Thursday would be the Neubie day, but it would be more like hamstring curls, leg extensions, the leg press.
Yep.
More like whether it be single leg or whatever, but it'd be more traditional, just a good solid routine. Build up, do a back off, do a superset here, do a drop set, blah, blah, blah. Where then on the Sunday, which would be always a morning session, I'd just do single leg everything. You know what I mean? So I'd do single leg curl superset with single leg extensions. Then I'd do leg extensions superset with leg extensions superset with leg curls. Then I might do abductive superset with like stiff leg deadlifts.
Okay.
Then I'll go do single leg lunges, left leg up, all the way, turn around, right leg back. And then I'll go and do a single leg press.
That's a big workout, man.
Something like that. But they're not that big, but they're just volumized.
Oh, yes, of course.
They're just volumized. They're not going into the force reps. They're not going into like, I don't need a spot. It's like, if you want to come train with me, just keep up. It's more volume and pump. Literally.
Yeah.
Good squeeze, good contraction, volume pump, and separating left versus right. As opposed to going quads and hammies.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is because I feel that's what I'm saying is if some people forget that they train quads so hard, they just cruise on in with hamstrings.
I think the single leg shit is what made my legs blow up.
I'm
as opposed to the way they used to look and the way they look now, with the detail that I have.
I saw some of the pictures. I saw you today even with your legs. Ray 007. He's a bit of a character. He asked designer question mark because he says, "What's he teaching? How to do a Louis Vuitton chest press?"
So, that's where the designer come from. So like just designer stuff.
So what's designer?
Like because I like everyone likes designer shit. So it would be like, okay, so if I was going to call my business something, that's where the designer PT from. Because you could get designer programming. You know what I mean? Designer sounds like kind of more high end, that kind of thing. Even the font and the lettering, I use more towards that high end look kind of thing. So that's where he's referencing. He knows where that comes from.
Yeah. No. Okay, so late June. Oh yeah, we talked about the operation successful. We talked about what exactly happened. So 23 days now post surgery. You did your first workout back after a total 6 weeks. How's it going? How's your training going at the moment?
Good. So yesterday I went quote unquote hard. Kind of like there's still a little bit of restriction, but I pushed it harder than I have for a while. Like with that workout in that post, that workout was one muscle group, one set, 50 reps,
right?
Done as a giant set, so 8 exercises total. Leave, no weight on the bar, nothing. No, like it was just to get in there, do something, and leave.
So just movement,
and then each week I just progressively. So I was just doing upper lower.
Yeah.
Then it went to more, I did that for 2 weeks. Then it was more like a push-pull legs type scenario. Then did that for a couple of weeks. Then it was push-pull legs arms. And then a 5-day one where I put a little bit of volume in. And then now it's kind of like I'm back to the way I want to train.
It's just your food at the moment is where you said it's playing with you at the moment, isn't it? Really?
No, well, the food. Up until this week too, I ate the same 4 meals every day since I left hospital. So I just didn't eat while I was at work. So I'd still have 4 meals. I think, and the food was still, you would say it's high. The volume was high, not for me, but it was high.
Yep.
And I learned heaps of shit in hospital, or epiphanies, or whatever the fuck they are, right? But I wanted to come out of hospital with a variety of food in my diet because I didn't want to have to. I love cheat meals, and I didn't want to have to crave shit and then have binges and whatever, right? So it was just variety. 4 meals of variety, and I didn't crave anything, which is wild. So I just kept the same. I literally ate the same 4 meals for the last 6 weeks.
Wow.
And then this week, I've kind of added an earlier meal, and just to move things around, training a little bit different. But it's just been a progression, and I've just been more listening to my body, trying new things, listening to my body. But
tell us about. You said something about cheat meals. What's your cheat meal?
what isn't my cheat meal?
What is your cheat meal? Tell me. What comes to your mouth? What comes to your mind? What's your cheat meal?
My go-to is burgers.
Burgers?
Sushi.
Who does the best burgers, you reckon? Come on, have you had Rob's at Roselle? Have you had Rob's at Roselle?
I'm up the coast, right? So
whereabouts are you?
Terrigal.
Oh, Terrigal's a beautiful area.
But like in terms of like there's so many. Like I just love fucking burgers, man. Like you can't. Okay, I've had Gordon Ramsay burger in Vegas. Can you get a better burger than that? It cost $90. No.
Was it better? Was it good?
It was fucking mad.
Why so much and why so good?
It's Gordon Ramsay and it's Vegas. Who knows? But like the burger was cracker. But in terms of like
$90 burger,
mad homemade burgers, then you've got there's so many burger places like Susie Jukes in the city.
Don't I, Chris?
Like there's just. In terms of favourite burger, I don't have a go-to. Like my favourite burger at the moment is like the Wharf down at Terrigal, where they do really good beef burgers.
Yeah.
But they got a burger place there that's been around for ages, Chop and Grind. But I just love. I'll go burgers anywhere. If I go out for dinner anywhere, actually the best burger that I had lately was the Gidley restaurant in the city. They bring a cheeseburger out for entree.
They bring a cheeseburger out for entree.
Entree, yeah. And they'll cut it in half. So if you're there with a group of 4, they'll bring 2 and cut in half. That didn't fly with us, but usually that's what happens.
What's the place called?
Gidley's.
What's that?
It's just a restaurant, underground restaurant in the city.
Oh, right.
It's like an old school, like not really a gangster vibe, but like just an olden day type of vibe.
Yeah.
Really nice, really, really good.
Gidley's, got to remember that.
That's the one. But if there's a burger on the menu and we go out for dinner, I'll get the burger no matter where I'm at.
Beef or chicken?
Both.
And do you make a good burger?
Yeah.
You make a good burger?
I can cook, man, yeah.
But you make a good burger?
I can make a good burger.
I make a good burger.
To be fair, it's not hard to make a good fucking burger.
No, come on, it is.
It's not hard to make a good burger.
I show you my burgers, man. Because I don't want to act like, like, don't want to. Well, I am acting, but I'll just show you here because look.
Yeah, that's a good burger. There's a lot of there's a lot of detail that go into that burger, like a lot of thought.
Yeah. Look at this. Yeah, what is it?
But see, I don't do double buns on burgers. I mean double patties on burgers.
Look.
Yeah, that looks like a good burger.
We should have made you some burgers. I would have made you some burgers. I can't believe I didn't do that. Let's talk about just because I want to talk about growing up quickly, but. Since you had an operation, and I noticed in 2019 you tore your tricep. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that and other injuries. What's been some of your injuries?
That's it.
Just that tearing on tricep?
Tricep is the only injury, yeah.
Yeah, you had to get surgery for that, yeah?
Yes, I tore the tricep off the bone, so the belly.
How did you do that?
I injured it previously in the gym.
Yeah.
It was just a
strain.
You felt something. I didn't train for 4 weeks, and the day before I was going to go back, I had a fight with my missus, and I threw her bag. And I'm right-handed, but I threw it with my left hand, and I threw it, and it snapped, and that's it. So did that on the Sunday.
Girls' bag has a lot of shit in it.
Yeah. So it would have gone regardless. If it was that, it would have gone. If I went to the gym the next day, it could have gone.
Did she tell you? See, don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Did she say don't fuck with me?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Don't fuck my bags. But
don't fuck with me.
After that, I didn't train that taught me a whole lot of shit too. Because I didn't train from April to December.
Right.
I didn't train from April to December.
What did it teach you? Taught you a lot of shit, you said?
You don't need to, I was at 118 when I did the injury. I finished up on Christmas Day at 104 lean. But I was small for me, but it just taught me, you don't, post-injury too, once I started training, that muscle come back.
Yeah. Oh, that's the beautiful thing about training.
Because I didn't want to train. I'd never had a break before training. So fuck it. But I went all in on my diet because I didn't want to get fat. So I got lean. And then I wanted to be responsive when I started training so I could eat when I wanted to grow muscle again. So from December 26 to March 13, I went from 104 to 116, leaner and bigger.
But see, everything you've said, that's what I'm saying is everything you've said is typical bodybuilder. Mathematical equations, because you're saying, I'm not touching weight. This is where I start to lean up. This is where
did I email you? No. On what's it called at the bottom of your email? Where you've got your name and then it's
signature.
You see, nothing nothing's by accident.
Nothing's by accident.
Yeah. So I don't do everything. Everything I do it for a purpose.
Well, because I want to talk about your training, but tell me about firstly growing up. When you were a kid, what were you like as a kid, and what did you want to be?
I was a good kid.
You a good kid?
I wasn't definitely not a bad kid, and I had a good family and a good home, and I did my work at school. What do I want to be when I grew up?
Like, did you want to be?
I didn't. No.
Did you want to be like?
I didn't have something like I want to be that
cop. You wanted to be a pilot. You wanted to be fucking.
No, I didn't. I don't remember having. I want to be that. Like that's when I went into teaching after high school. I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
But the opportunity presented itself.
Where did you grow up? What area?
I grew up in Greystanes till I was 16.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Castle Hill from 16 to 30 odd.
How much has those areas changed now?
Yes.
Far out.
Especially Castle Hill, because we didn't have a train line there. So
Castle Hill
was wild because it was like kind of isolated because you couldn't go there by a train.
It was.
It was unreal.
Yeah. I know. Now it's expensive too. Yes. And everything's going on. But Castle Hill was like farms.
Yeah, but everywhere's expensive.
Sydney's everything's expensive. And when did you first touch weights?
Would have been like 14.
Yeah.
I was doing weights a little bit while I was swimming.
Swimming?
Yeah.
You a good swimmer?
Yeah. I was good.
Did you want to represent Australia for swimming?
Until I raced Ian Thorpe, yeah.
No, really?
Yeah.
You raced Ian Thorpe?
So I was like a good swimmer.
Yeah, okay.
And then the year before...
So when you were a kid, you wanted to be maybe an Olympian?
I just wanted to play sport. I enjoyed all sports.
Okay.
So I kind of but I was a real good swimmer up until I was, I want to say 15, 14, and then I quit.
Why?
Because I raced Ian Thorpe.
Okay, you raced
This is why I don't compete or go, I want my pro card and bullshit with bodybuilding.
You both are around the same age, correct?
Yes.
Ian Thorpe.
So I raced
Tell me that story, Ian
I would have been 14 or 15, because that was like 98 or 99.
Yeah,
This is the year 2000, he did the Olympics, right?
Yep.
So it was around that time, say 98, 99, whatever.
Yep.
It would be 99, I'd say. 99 because I was still swimming.
Yep.
I raced him, and before I got to that, I'd win majority of the races I compete in or go real well. And this motherfucker smoked me by laps. Like he was that dominant. And I literally got out of the pool and I was like, man, I'm not doing this again. Because there's no point. Like there was 0 point. Because when you see that, it's like...
Were you?
So I'm not delusional. I was like, fucking, there's no point doing... And swimming was brutal. Like, the training was brutal.
Yeah, that's 4 a.m. starts, 4 a.m.
Warm up with 30 laps and shit. And,
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm not doing this anymore. And then so I left. I stopped swimming. And at the time, I had moved to Castle Hill. And I didn't like the squad there either. Quit, started training properly then. So about 14 and a half, 15, 16, something like that.
But can I just ask, let's say if Ian Thorpe didn't blow you out of the water,
I still wouldn't have been as good as those guys. So
right.
I would have quit sometime after that in the near future.
So he was a freak then, huh?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a freak, isn't he? Really?
Well, it was So that was. But before that, I was like when I was 14 and a half, I'd worked at the Cool Bar, gym in Maryland.
Right.
Just put weights away.
Okay.
Clean the squash court and put weights away. So that's where I started to train. And then when we moved to Castle Hill, I kept going. Whatever.
So no wonder you became also a PE teacher. Mate, sport is your go-to. So we spoke about. So tell me your style of PT. What is your specialty when you talk about? Are you predominantly? I mean, you'll train everyone, but from what we said and what you speak about in the seriousness of your business, are you just you like to? What's your favourite thing about PTing? Is it taking athletes to where they've never been before, taking them to stage?
I like dealing with people that want to come and see you. Even though some people hate training or whatever, they're all paying you to see you.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's a pleasant environment.
Yes,
as opposed to where I was teaching, no kid wants to go to school. You see the comparison. So that's a good part about it. There's variety.
Which gym are you at?
Riley's Gym, Seven Hills.
So wait a minute, you're at Seven Hills, right?
Yeah.
Riley's. I should pop in there because my roastery is at Seven Hills, right? Yeah, it is. But you live in Terrigal.
Yeah.
So you drive down.
It's just an hour.
It's just an hour. You are a very relaxed kind of guy, man, honestly.
It's an easy drive.
Well, at that hour of the morning, I guess it is.
But like from where I live, it's like, and where Riley's is, it's straight off the M2. If I needed to go further than Riley's, it'd be an issue.
No, you're highway to highway.
Central Coast Highway, M1, North Connects Tunnel, M2, Riley's.
Yeah.
Simple.
You spoke on this podcast, The Unbreakable again. You said, fuck the science. I fucking hate logbooks. I hate training, what's wrong or right, all that crazy diets, more the old school gym bro principles. Is that your principle?
I only do what I enjoy doing.
Right.
If I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. So the running in the logbook is, you're not going to have every good workout. It's pointless. It takes time.
Yeah.
For other people, it works brilliant.
Yeah.
Right? In terms of me, I just like, I'm intuitive, like instinctive. That's how I like to train.
Yep.
If I walk in, I kind of know what I want to do, where I'm going with it, but it'll change.
Yep.
So I train people. Programming and doing that side of the PT business with clients is different. You've got to write up the programs. You've got to know where there's got to be you've got to know what you're doing, where you're going with everything. In terms of the way the other side of the business, the PT, I'll train people like I train myself. So we'll walk in, we'll have a chat. Like, hey, I ask them how they're going. You kind of get a feel for how they're going. Yeah, right. Like, if they're pumped up, ready to go, you kind of know where you want to start. And then you use the first exercise to kind of gauge how they're going. But like, they might have had a fight with someone they're not mentally there. So if they're not mentally there, you're not going to really go heavy. Or you might not really go heavy because they're not thinking about what they're doing.
That's a very good PT.
And I don't know if you might feel mad, but you're not having a strong day today. So I use the first exercise as kind of my gauge to see where I want to go with it. So
you don't necessarily think everyone needs to be screamed in the ear.
I'll scream at you like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is not every single person needs a screaming in the ear.
No.
Like you're working out how they've come in and how you're going to get the best out of them. And it could be softly, or it could be screaming in their ear.
I'll never program a workout.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
No, you're assessing them.
Yes.
As soon as they come in, you
like
haven't
if you come
preempted.
Say, what are we doing today? I go, I have no fucking idea. That'll be my answer. No idea.
Wow.
I might ask you, hey, what do you want to start with today? Because everyone's got their favourite. Or I might say, we're starting with this. And then I might think, after this, we're going to that. But someone might be on that. Or two, I'm like, okay, the way that they perform this exercise, that ain't going to work today. Let's pivot and we'll go over here.
I can tell if you train me, I'll get a good workout. Why? Because I think you'll find out more about me and I won't even tell you. You'll probably just work me out and go, right.
But also, I don't try and reinvent the wheel. If you're a brand new beginner, we'll work form.
Yeah.
And it'll be slow and making sure you're doing the right thing. If you've been training for 20 years, I don't give a fuck what your form's like. If that's how you train, especially if it's like a once a week thing or you come in just to see me every now and again, that's how you train. I'll tweak you as we go just to say, hey, maybe try to do this, but I'm not going to try and reinvent your wheel for this workout. It's going to be a shit workout. I'll just roll with what I got and kind of make it better and try and suggest things for you to do that work well with what you do. to make it feel better or get a better pump or whatever. But then if you want to throw the Neubie onto the equation, I'm the best PT in the country. Period.
I can look,
and you can't say I'm not, because who's the strongest Avenger? Thor.
Yeah.
Why? Electricity, Neubie, electricity. Therefore, I win.
Like I said to you, you invest a lot. I've seen your ads too. You put a lot of time into your business. You actually are a businessman. I can say that. Like I said, not many people are PTs, but not businessmen, right? You are business, and you present yourself that way. I have to ask you, because I don't know who these guys are, and I want to talk a little bit about. I don't want to talk about what steroids anyone's on, what you're on, or anyone. I just want to talk a little bit about, what about these trend twins? Because you mentioned them on that podcast, and from what I heard, these guys, they're on the gear and they train hard. Who are these trend twins?
I don't follow them. I've seen them because other people talk about them, and from what I get from what they do, they're just two fucking dudes training. It's like the camera's in front of them, and they're just talking like however we all used to talk when we were that age.
Yep.
But they're in front of a camera.
And what do you think about, like, because you, like I said, you've competed, because I'm going to ask you about your competition. What do you think about today's day and age with PEDs, with performance enhancing drugs, steroids, and people coming to you and thinking that that's the be all and end all? What's your take on all that?
You can't just use gear and expect like Houdini results. Like you need to have everything in play.
Yeah.
The best people will have everything at 100. You know what I mean? They'll use the adequate gear for them, and they'll train hard. They'll diet 100%. All the pieces of the puzzle there. They're your top guys.
Yeah.
And then as you come down through the ranks of whatever, some people might not like take heaps of gear, but they're shit with their food and they train like a shit, like they train like a pussy. It's all it's a ranging scale for everyone.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if everyone uses too much gear. Like I could tell people what I use. I use a fuck ton of gear.
Yeah.
Right.
You
But
do?
I have.
You have.
I have in the past. I might do. I probably won't do as much as that in the future. But like,
why changed?
Well, you don't need to do that anymore. Like, if you want to, like, and everyone's different. It's all it comes to genetics too. Like, not even genetics of can you put muscle on or not. Can your body handle the detoxification after taking the gear? Yeah. How much can you? How does your body respond from taking gear? Some people might take heaps and nothing happens. Where someone might look at a bottle and they blow up. It's all based on,
is that what's that called? Is that like
hyper responders?
Yeah, but it's also when you said look at a bottle. Is that when if you gave someone water and you told them that's gear, their brain thinking it's gear? And
no, it's more how the body will take what you give it and respond. So it's like, but the same as with food. You might give someone this type of diet and they respond very well. You might give that person the same and nothing happens. Like everyone's different.
Do you think
in terms of like the scape of everything?
Yeah.
You can't put one brush over everyone because the top guys are getting better.
But what I'm asking is, so because you said I don't need to know what you're talking. It's not about that. I'm not here to. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, because I'm happy to tell you, I took gear at 49.
I didn't start taking gear till I was 23. So I'd already won 2 Australian titles natural.
Yeah. So tell me about that. What have you competed? 2 Australian titles. What did you compete in?
I won the junior IFBB natural when I was 22.
Yep.
And I won the A and B Australian title when I was 19.
Wonderful.
That was like, and then when I was 30, I won the New South Wales heavyweight IFBB.
What made you go from natural to gear? Because I'm sure kids are thinking.
I'll tell you the exact reason.
Please.
And I was naive.
Yeah.
But my reason to start taking gear, because I was around it the whole time I was training naturally.
You had to.
Was I stopped competing. I didn't want to compete for a while. I didn't want to work out as hard as I had been.
Yep.
So I thought if I take gear and I train and I don't have to diet as hard, train as hard, I still look good.
Is that a trick?
That's why I started?
Yeah, but is that what I'm saying?
No, that's wrong.
That's what I was going to ask
wrong.
you. Yeah.
But in terms of...
You realise you still have to train hard.
Yeah, and I still did like train. But it's like, do you know what I mean? It's still... But like gear... you're just getting what you put out. Yeah. And you know what I mean? That's all it is.
It is like that.
But to a degree. And then it comes down to genetics, that what your body's going to do with the rest of it.
Yeah.
Like, the current landscape of Australian competitors, and because it's so diluted from the naturals to the IFBB to the FMG shows and all that, right?
Yeah.
The majority of everyone goes on about they want a pro card. Like, do they really understand what a pro looks like? They don't.
They don't.
I was lucky enough to have Ivan compete and turn pro, look like a pro, compete against the pros when I was younger, to go, hey, everyone says I'm like, that guy's twice my size. Yeah. I've never gone, I'm going to get a pro card. One, I know what it takes. You need to literally leave everything else behind.
Yeah.
Right? And two...
And there is a genetic side to it.
There's a genetic side.
And you can't beat that, can you?
No.
Because what I'm saying is...
You can get to
you can get a pro card.
In Australia, you can get a pro card
because you were the best on the...
And you could outwork everyone and work really hard, blah, blah, blah.
And it could be the turn up, you were the best.
That's right.
Doesn't mean
but
you're
if you
the best.
Go into the pool of pros, you're going to be dead last every time.
It's true. I realise that.
You know,
when I'm watching this and learning.
Depending on the federation that you're in, you might have a pro card in this federation. You come dead last in that federation.
I've seen it.
So therefore, you can still call yourself a pro bodybuilder, but in the bodybuilding federation, you're dead last. Yet on social media, everyone looks at that and goes, that guy's a pro.
Everyone writes it.
Yeah, but they don't know. They're not into the industry. You know, it's even the way I look at it, the industry is say 10% of our population, 5%. 95% is they have no idea. They just believe whatever they read, see. Oh yeah, that guy's got muscle, whatever. If he says he's that, I understand. Cool. Yeah. Then the fitness industry, right, is the 5% of you can't really get away with saying you're a pro when you're not, or if you, I can distinguish whether you're this type of pro because that's how you look compared to how these types of pros look. And that's why we can everyone can do whatever they want on social media, because the vast majority have no idea.
They don't.
And
what about, because you've been around, what about women today in the sport? And meaning, because we know it's an influx now. We've got bikini, we've got this, we've got that, we've got this. What about them? They're dabbling. I've heard they're dabbling in the industry with the drugs now. Is it?
They all use gear.
I know.
Okay, when I say all, there's always exceptions to the rules.
Yeah. So again, that's genetics too.
Not really.
No.
What is genetics like?
No, but what I'm saying is, if they're going to get pro cards, they're going into an arena where, do you think some of these girls are genetically built that way in the pro arena?
But it always, as the further you go up, there's always limitations to how well you're going to go and whatever, because it's not really up to who shows up and
it's not based just on gear.
No, it's not. And
but what are we finding? What are you finding at the moment?
I don't think I think if you're a female and you take gear before you get a pro card to get a pro card, why?
Yeah.
Right? But then their why is because I look good on social media and I've made a living out of it, and I'm making a good living out of it.
But not all of them.
Yeah, but some of them.
But not all of them.
But some of them. So but this is my point. When you start painting things,
you could be on OnlyFans and not take gear.
Yeah, no, I mean, but if you're gonna if you look a certain way and you've performed a certain way in shows, and then you're gonna have a successful online coaching business, that's good, because and that's why I preference everything I say. There's exceptions to the rules, because I can talk shit about a group of people, but be really good friends with people in that group of people that are the exceptions to the rules. In terms of girls taking gear, they all take too much.
That's what I was saying.
In terms of coaches saying that they don't put their girls on gear, they're majority of the time full of shit.
Oh, right. I'm listening. Go ahead, keep going. Yeah.
There's everything's perception, right?
Yeah.
But then what's behind the curtain, who knows, right?
When I trained, and I told you Terry Mitsos and all that, I knew if Terry or a lot of big bodybuilders had real good sponsors. We're talking about, and we're on the cover of Flex magazine for Australia. He's doing the same photos that you'd see Sean Ray, you'd see Lee Priest, like those guys. I mean, you understood their career was based upon their bodies, but a lot of people are acting like their career depends on it, and it's not a career. That's what I'm saying. Like, I guess,
and that's where it says, like, because I know with my business, I'm my brand.
Yes.
So how I look will physically impact, or not physically, will just impact how successful
and perception
I am, right? Because if I look the way I look,
they can trust you, what they want,
compared to if I looked like someone who doesn't train or is out of shape
or hasn't competed.
My perception from other people toward me will be different. Therefore, my business will respond accordingly.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
100%.
So that's why I try and look a certain way, and I don't try and look like I can't look. I just lean on my strengths.
And I suppose you're saying the same thing. Some girls have lent on their strengths.
Correct. Because if I didn't take gear, if I stopped taking gear when I stopped competing 10 years ago, I wouldn't look like I am today.
Yeah.
Therefore, I wouldn't have my business.
What's changed now, though, for you? You said you're taking less. What's changed?
I didn't say I was taking less. I just said, like, the only thing that's changed between me competing and me not competing is there's no stress about being on stage.
Okay.
So my diet's 100%.
Yep.
I don't train as hard as I used to because I can't because of the lack of sleep, but I still train. I train accordingly to look a certain way, right? Yeah. So I still train, I still eat, I still supplementation, I still take my supplements. Everything is like I'm in a prep. I do my fasted cardio every day, no matter what time I get up. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, you are one of, I'm just letting you know, one of the biggest guys we've had. Ain't that true, Chris? He's probably one of the biggest guys. I'm not saying as a compliment to you. You are. When I saw you, what did I say to you? I said Dorian Yates. Like I said, because
again, this is
you're pretty big.
Where I say how I am in real life is how I am portrayed online. Online, I don't look bigger than what I am. I actually look bigger in real life than how I look online.
Let me tell you, online you look scary, bro.
Yeah,
you look like you're the head of some fucking bikie gang. No. I don't know. I'm expecting to find underbelly and you be in it for some reason.
No, I'm the total opposite.
You are. You are. Do you know how I knew you were the total opposite? Because I saw that podcast you did with Unbreakable, and I went, "Oh my god!" Like, because your perception of you is different. Even I said to Mark even said it too. He looks like he's angry because of his blue eyes and his expression, but you're not.
He's kind of always angry because he's got a little man syndrome.
Obviously, you two have got to be good friends. Tell me, which was your favourite comp? Which was, and wait a minute, and which was the hardest? So, meaning, I want to know, like, this comp was hard. You might have won them, but you said this comp was hard, and this comp was most rewarding.
They're all hard. Like, I made all my comps hard because I was like, if I just competed, say I wanted to compete today, it'd be a much different process to how I used to go about things. I did a fake prep. Before my kid was born, I did a fake prep because I wanted to see if I had it. Like, you got that thing in the basement that you kind of want to, you know what I mean? Like,
can I ask you a question? Sorry about that. Just quickly. You said something about your kid being born.
Yeah.
Did you want to turn up your best version for him?
No.
All right, because I'll tell you.
I understand.
I do.
I know what you're saying.
No, I did.
What I wanted to be, and this will go back, I want to be like, not, when he turned up, I know he don't know what the fuck's going on. So it wasn't that. It was more so, I put a lot of things in place so I could be present when he was born. So I didn't have to go to work. I could be there for the first few weeks and whatever. But more so, I look in 5 years, because you look at stages of the kids, right? You generally speaking, they're kind of like the mummy's boys, and then they're into the dad, and then they go to school. They start looking up to somebody. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to be his superhero when he was 5.
Yeah.
Right? So I wanted to be, the way I look is, that's who I'm looking up to, because you only look up to people at that age due to physical appearance.
Of course.
Right? Yeah. Whether they're on TV. Yeah. Like, when I was a kid, Arnold, not saw. I saw Wayne Pearce at the beach.
Oh, Wayne Pearce, the rugby league player.
So when I would have been like fucking 7.
Wayne Pearce, the rugby league player.
Yes,
yeah, he had a great body.
That motherfucker was jacked,
Yeah.
chiseled, square chest, abs. Right, I saw him at the beach. I was like that's how I want to look. Like he played in shoulder pads. He didn't need no shoulder pads. Like he was proper jacked.
He's still got a great body.
Yes,
he's still very fit.
So that's like I want to be like that, like then. In terms of that, I just wanted to, because I knew I wouldn't have enough. I wouldn't have the time to put into what, because I only remember prepping from the way I used to prep, all in, like fucking, like that. So I was like, all right, I've got 5 months till my kid comes. All right, I'm going to do a fake prep. I want to see if I've still got it.
But I'm telling you, that's very bodybuilder, because I'm telling you, me, I can tell you all the times I've turned up my best. No, again, I haven't been on stage. It's not, I feel like I should have a go at stage, but I'm just hear me out. When I turned 30, March 23rd, I knew
That's
12 weeks out, I was going to turn up 30, 40, 50. I told you I took a cycle.
Yeah.
My daughter was born. I wanted to present to her the best physical position. What does she know? She doesn't know. She doesn't care. But for me, I always look at every new situation as a comp. And I think you're saying yourself, you know something's coming, so you prepare for it.
Yeah, and it's always easy to break things into segments.
Yeah.
So I need to, before that, I could just cruise, and I can stay in shape going at 25%.
Yeah.
So it's not hard, but I wanted to go all in on that and just to see what happened.
How'd you go?
Yeah, it was mad.
Yeah. So which is your most memorable comp? The one you?
It's probably it'd have to be like the Australian titles when I was younger were cool, but like when I won the super heavyweight in New South Wales when I was 30, like 10 years ago, because it kind of validated my standing in the industry for myself.
Yeah.
I was always friends with everybody. There's always
I noticed everybody's comments and speaks to you. I can see it,
and because I liked the fact that everyone was better than me. Yeah, because you're gonna get better that way anyway. But like,
that's who you want to go against.
Kind of in the industry, it's hard to. A lot of people find it hard to admit that there's just better people out there, better physiques, bigger muscles, stronger, because it makes them feel less validated, or it makes them feel like they're not good enough.
You better be listening to that. That is very good advice. Go ahead.
But find a bodybuilder that will compliment you, besides Ivan. Or you go and ask a bodybuilder in the gym, how's training? They'll say, good, just get back into it.
Yeah.
They'll say getting back into it because they're worried about how you're looking at them. They don't want you to think they've been training full tilt for the last fucking 6 months in case to use they look shit. But I'll happily give compliments, tell people how good they look, not care if like that person's more successful, because it's not down to hard work. As long as you're doing the best that you can, outside of that, it don't matter. It don't at all. Where others are kind of like.
But I like that. Like I was telling Chris this morning, I said, you don't want to know who's the best. So you don't want to try to compete against shit business people. You want to know who's the best, and you want to compete against the best, because that's how you're going to gauge. You want them to win, but that's the winning prize. The winning prize is to compete against the best.
If you look left, you should be looking left at a whole bunch of people that are better than you.
Yeah, 100%. I like that
your motivation.
Yeah.
But then you look right and you look down, not down at people, but you look down the track at how many people that you are doing better than, and then you be proud of yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of people they're like, fuck, I still want to lose 10 kilos, but motherfucker, you lost 30. Be proud of your 30, and then you still got to get the 10 where they'll be upset because they haven't lost the last 10.
That's very good advice, man.
You know, like that's the way it is.
You just blew my mind there, mate. I forget about looking right and looking at achievements.
Like if you're feeling shit, look right, yeah, and go, how much better am I going than a few other people? Yeah, you're not even people. Go turn the TV on. You're going better than everybody somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Then if you're like you're lacking motivation or whatever for today, look left. Fuck, that guy's killing it. Look at this guy. So like speak to one of your mates that you know is insanely successful. Oh fuck! All right, I'm gonna get my shit together. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm
That's why it's so easy for me to get up so early, because it's that constant cycle.
Like I said, my light bulb is so on at the moment. I'm listening to what you just said. It just blew my mind. The secret to competing and winning, Chris, make sure you know this, is not having a girlfriend.
Not a secret. I just never knew I could not do it while I had a girlfriend back the way that I used to do it.
Why?
It was just tunnel vision.
All right, tunnel vision.
So even that,
because people are listening now, they're probably wondering.
But like,
as comical as it sounds, I understand it.
A
but go
good
ahead.
supportive girlfriend or wife or family, that's 10 times better than doing it by yourself.
100%.
But find someone who's like that, supportive. Like, they're very few and far between. That's not going to cause you drama. It's not toxic, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
What I meant by that is because when I was doing it back then, I was super tunnel vision that
You knew.
I couldn't allow myself to do this socially or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right or wrong, that's just how I used to do it.
But also you knew, correct me if I'm wrong, you knew it probably wasn't good for the girlfriend either.
Yeah, or I just couldn't get a girlfriend and there's an excuse. It's like, whatever. Like, but in terms of that, like, because after the fake prep, then I stayed in shape and whatever, then I was like, well, maybe I might do like a show earlier this year, late last year. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I got to a point where I started catching myself going to do cardio when I should have been hanging out with my kid. Like that's kind of defeating the purpose of not being at work at that time. I'm going to do cardio. Like, so I started catching myself. I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that because it goes against what I did all that for, to be here, and then I'm just going to go here to do that. So that's why I pulled the pin on that. And it's like, yeah.
So tell me, fatherhood. I think I've got a question on that, but I want to know. You recently became a father. Apollo is your name, correct? Your son. So how is the new role, the responsibility? What is it teaching you about you, and what's also testing you?
The teaching me about me is like, I didn't grow up like wanting kids and that, but like I couldn't picture life without him now. So, and I think it's just teaching me to be more like, I made a conscious effort to be present, but be there, and then not, it's taught me, the main thing is just to not sweat about like other bullshit. Okay. Like that, nothing like gossip and all that kind of, I don't even, no. Like, one of my clients might break up with one, like, I'll talk to my missus about stuff all the time, and I'll say, such and such broke up with their girlfriend because they told me during the session. Yeah. She'll say, why? I said, I don't know. She goes, what do you mean? I go, didn't you ask them? I said, I don't care, man. Like, I care that if he's okay. Yeah. I don't care that why they broke up. I just know they broke up. I'm letting you know. It's like that. I just don't care about those little
things anymore.
It's more, I just want to be here hanging out with him. And
do you feel as well that when he came along, all your hard work means something now?
Yeah,
I do.
It's more so I don't want to waste my hard work now. Like, it's where before I'd go buy cool shit, not care about like just blow money or buy an expensive top or whatever. Where now it's like that stuff. I'd rather just, I don't even entertain doing that. I'd just rather be there for him and not worry about so much materialistic shit. I do like still nice shit and I want to buy nice stuff, but it's not so consuming in my thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, whereas before I'd look at stuff and go, all right, I want to get that eventually, blah, blah, blah. And now it's not so much. It's more so, all right, I'm going to grab him this afternoon. What are we going to do this Savo? Blah, blah, blah. So it's like...
Oh, cute. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Look, there's some funny bits when they grow up. Like I said, you'll be hurting into one of your burgers and you'll say, can I have the rest? And you go...
Well, he's doing that now. Like, he won't. If I'm eating at home, he has to sit on my lap. And then because he's just getting into using forks, so now if I'm eating with a fork, he's either going to be holding the fork or he's going to be eating off my fork. So like,
you got it.
It's
all changed.
It's good.
It is good. 10 weeks, 10 kilos. Supersize your selfie. Is that possible?
Yeah.
10 weeks.
I'm not saying you're not good, but like...
No, I'm just saying 10 weeks.
If you want to...
10 kilos.
That's one of my little...
Your comment, sick of being average?
It's just... That's one of my little promo things for work. I'll pop in, usually around winter time, whatever.
Yeah, of course.
It's not hard to put 10 kilos on in 10 weeks. Like, It's not hard. Like everyone says they eat a lot, they don't. Everyone trains hard, they don't.
Are we talking with though 10 kilos of quality?
No, it's not saying quality, but at least half could be.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to put weight on, it doesn't always have to be quality initially.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But like that'd be more of a promo for like a 60, 70 kilo fella like trying to get to 80. Or someone 90 that can't even get to 100. Like let's just get, because if you want to put weight on, you can't. If you're just trying to be lean all the time and get to a certain and add weight, you can do it, but eventually it can be slower. The way I've always found it, your body's got to feel a weight first, and then so you get up to a weight until you're uncomfy, and then you'll diet down, you do a cut or whatever. Then the next time you get to that weight, you're going to be leaner at that weight, and it's going to be a lot comfortable, so you can push again.
Yeah.
You know, like it's. But yeah, so it can be done.
Yeah, no, I saw it because you wrote it, and I mean, I knew you were also, you're using a pull and mechanism to get people interested, and Supersize Me. It's like that McDonald's thing about Supersize. So you know a lot of bodybuilders, I know, in Australia. Who's some of your past favourites or recent favourites in bodybuilders?
For Aussies?
Aussies, only Aussies at the moment. I am going to ask you about overseas in a second. I just want to ask you in the past, who's been some of your favourite bodybuilders?
Sonny Schmidt was good. I enjoyed seeing him in the. I wasn't into it back then, but like the fact that he was Aussie, I always took notice when I saw him, and I was like, that's a cool physique.
And what about let's just talk about in general some guys that you say, look, I really like this guy. He's a great bodybuilder.
Like now?
Yeah, now, whatever.
Now it's like the top guys in Australia are easy. It's Aaron Pilates. It's Cam who just competed recently.
How
overseas.
good does Cam George look? He's going to be on the podcast soon.
He's very good. He's sponsored by Primabolics, same time as I am.
Yeah, are you sponsored by Primabolics? Trying to have Primabolics on here. I'm talking to everybody. Trust me.
You should get the owners.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the owner on here.
Will, yeah.
Yeah, Will. I'm talking to him, but he's busy at the moment. He's got big progress.
Yeah,
he's always busy, I guess.
But Aaron and Cam, there's 212 guys. I've known Aaron since he was an amateur.
Yeah.
He's come back. Next year he'll go real well. He went well this year. Didn't go as well as he used to.
But he was feeling unwell, wasn't he, when he went over there? He got sick?
Yes. Yeah. Which happens when you go overseas, etc., etc. But like Sam, my favourite pro at the moment is Sam Pearce, who I'm really good friends with.
Yes.
So like in terms of trajectory, in terms of how he's going to look on the stage and just how he's off the stage, like he's someone that I role modeled being a dad off with his daughter. Okay. Like he's the best dad to his kid, and then he's got the gym and that. Like so, he's probably up. He'd be my top.
Yep, Sam Pearce. Yep.
In terms of then, like if you're looking at physiques, you've got like Nathan James Williamson in Melbourne.
Yep.
Who's looking to compete in a few weeks. I think he's doing England. Mm-hmm. Like if he is a special physique.
Yeah.
He would probably have the best physique in the country that no one's seen yet.
Wow.
And he doesn't do the social media thing and whatever.
Yes,
like Sam is ridiculously just on a trajectory like that. Who else? Josh back in his heyday was like everyone's favourite, and he was the nicest dude too.
Oh, Josh Melbourne. Yeah.
You know. But like current, it'd be like mainly like Sam, Cam, Aaron. I'm missing somebody.
What about at the moment some of the boys like
the amateur fellas?
Mike Halusi?
Oh yeah, Mike's a legend too. I speak to Mike a lot.
Yeah.
Like he's
I've noticed the people that when I was going through your social media, a lot of those blokes.
Mike's someone with like where you'd say he has zero genetics, but his work ethic is off the charts. Like no one would probably out-train his intensity in the country. That guy trains crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I trained him 6 weeks prior to his pro card win. He come down to Sydney from Melbourne, and I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah. I saw him firsthand. I went up to Brisbane and saw him. Mm-hmm. Freak.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, him, and then in terms of like amateurs that are looking to grab a pro card this year, in a few weeks, you got like Danny Schneider, Mike Pearson.
Yeah.
There's a guy that trains at Mark's gym who's a younger kind of guy. Chris Bella. Like he'll give Mike a big run. I don't think he'll beat Mike, but his shape is crazy. There's a lot of good guys.
Yeah, there is. Australia's coming.
They go like that's what I mean. The top guys are progressing, and as they should be, like really well. But
Cam Giourgis is a freak at the moment. Don't you think? Do you think he can go somewhere with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's just got to keep doing what he's doing. Really.
Yeah, he's got it.
He does. But he's not missing nothing. You know what I mean? So
there's something about him. You know, he's got the look as well.
Yeah, and he's a good dude. Like he's a really nice dude.
Yeah. No, well, like I said, who's your favourite bodybuilder overseas, past and present?
Marcus Rule.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler. Dexter Jackson. So I favour towards the ones that I kind of like thought I kind of like looked like in the same category, like the freaky big fridge looking, you know, that kind of look. That's just kind of the ones that I resonated with. But then I used to love the ones that were unachievable for me, like Dexter Jackson and that. Today's day and age, it'd be like Nick Walker.
But they don't rate him, do they? For some reason, they keep critiquing him a lot.
Yeah, because he's not as pretty as the other fellas. Like, it's
How did you think he went at the New York Pro?
It wasn't his best, but he still won.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But 6 months prior to that, the pre-Olympia pictures after he tore his hamstring, everyone said he would have won the Olympia. But then he goes to the New York Pro, then they're not picking him in the top 5. That's bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is just what have you done for me lately?
Okay, yeah.
So it can change like that.
So who do you think is the dark horse? Because I feel like there's a few dark horses. Like I've gone blank.
The only one that can leapfrog all of them and come first is Samson.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Nobody else. Based on conditioning alone. He doesn't have to do anything but get in proper condition, which is harder said than done.
Yeah.
In terms of dark horse, the only other dark horse would be Andrew Jack. How he compares with his current look to everyone else in that top 6.
He looks pretty good, doesn't he?
Yeah, but put him next to the top 6, he might look the same as he did last year. He looked really good because he was standing next to 2 guys that never competed in the Olympia before.
Gotcha.
But you put him next to he might still come 5th.
Yeah.
So Samson's the only one that literally you can say if he does this, he will win. But he's never done it, so you can't say it. Then you got Derek and Hardy who could flip-flop because they've been there both there.
Yeah, what do you reckon about Derek and Hardy? Like, what do you think?
Derek doesn't come across as he should in videos or pictures. You have to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously you have to be there because they're not going to give someone a gift where he didn't win the year before or whatever. It must have looked different in person, and a lot of it does, right?
Yeah.
Hardy would be the front runner because of the way he looks at Arnold.
That Arnold was nuts.
But in terms of like dark horse, random person, whatever, you're not getting anyone outside of that top 6 who's going to leapfrog all of them and win at all.
Yeah, I think
except Nick, who didn't compete last year.
I'm looking for. I think that's the thing. I think that's the missing piece of the puzzle.
Nick has to rely on other people to miss.
You think so?
Yes. So everything's got to fall. The stars have got to align for him to win. Whereas Samson, it don't matter what no one does. If he does what he needs to do, he will win.
How close was he, do you think, to taking him out last year? What was he missing? Because I thought
it's always condition.
Condition,
and you can't see that in video.
No, you can't.
In video, silhouette-wise, looking at it, he looks like the winner.
Yeah, he did look like the winner.
Right, because of course he's taller than them, he's wider than them, he's got big
waist too.
But then you don't see that intricate detail unless you're 5 rows from the front. It's like in pictures that everyone puts up on social media. Yeah. They'll put their best shot up, and they look better than the guys next to them. But in real life, that's not the case because you weren't there. And you only really know that if you've been to those shows and seen them in real life to understand the difference in the way they look in real life compared to in photos.
Yeah, well, like I said to you, sometimes I wonder how they differentiate them, but like you said in person. And what do you think on Classic? What do you think? Do you think C-Bum's going to take it again?
Yeah, we'll take it.
What is it about him?
it's more his structure. So
There's something about him.
it's just
because others look big, but when he goes on stage,
and Classic's all structure. So which is genetics. He hasn't got the best body parts. He hasn't got the best condition. He hasn't got what's it called? Like his posing's pretty good, but everything put together on him is the best Classic look.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think Ramon looks too big in certain areas, and everyone else is playing around with it. And you can see, you go, oh, they're going to take C-bum out, but when it just seems symmetrically, everything lines up.
Structure, classic structure.
Classic structure. He looks good, doesn't he? He comes up actually appealing. He kind of appeals to what you're looking for that comp. So,
which was evident in his social media following because Gen Pop following.
And the most successful person at the moment on social media. So we spoke about Kayla Holmes. I saw you. We're going to finish up shortly. We're going to go over the body, but I wanted to finish with this one. I saw you smoking a cigar. Yeah, they're enjoying a nice cigar. Do you enjoy cigars, by the way?
Yeah, I like cigars.
Yeah. What is it about cigars, if you don't mind me asking?
It's just a.
Because not
I've
really
never
a cigarette.
I've never smoked cigarettes in my life or whatever.
Yeah.
Never been into marijuana, anything like that. It's more the cigar thing's more of a hobby that you smoke.
Yeah.
So it's an acquired taste. Like you might have a drink of alcohol for the first time, not like it, and then as you kind of sip on it.
But a lot of bodybuilders like cigars. Why is that?
It's more because I don't think it's something you can't do all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be detrimental to how you feel or look, right?
Okay.
And they're looked at as like celebratory. You celebrate with them, so it's like a.
It's instead of popping a bottle of champagne, you light up a cigar.
That's right, and it's less detrimental.
Yeah.
That's I think why. But it's also they take time too, so it makes you just sit and chill. That's why I like them. If I'm going to sit down and smoke a cigar, it's a time investment where I have to sit down and take that 30 to 45 minutes to smoke it.
Well, and I think this relates to the kitchen that we spoke about. You said, I know it's none of my business, but why are online coaches, wannabe influencers posting their exaggerated monthly earnings?
Yeah.
And you said also, we all know you are all full of shit. Why are people who are in the gym longer than everyone else always look the worst? And also, you look worse than you did 6 months ago. This is one of your posts. Why do people who cannot squat or deadlift correctly show their shoes off or take their shoes off?
Okay, all those type of posts that I put up are always triggered.
Oh,
It's not like I don't really give a fuck, but I might see something and go, "Hey, that's a good idea for a post."
Don't worry, I know it's a hook bait.
But in terms of like the shoe thing, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like the person with the best legs of all time, fucking arguably Jay Cutler, squatted in shocks, in Nike shocks, right?
Yeah.
Why are you at 25% body fat taking your shoes off to squat?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's, again, I look at it from a different perspective. That's me from my revved up perspective training. I'm like, you're a fucking moron.
Well, look at it from their perspective. You're smoking a cigar in that photo, so you're very gangster.
They might have sore feet.
Yeah.
You know? But in terms of like, what's the other one?
Why are they fucking showing their earnings or exaggerating?
Okay, so like what you said before, I know how much I make compared to how many hours I work.
Of course,
right?
That's how it works.
Then I listen to what they say,
and then you work out how many hours they're doing.
And I'm like, okay, that's impossible. I know where I live and how much that cost.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how much I make.
Yeah.
If you're making that, why are you living there?
100%.
Makes no sense to me, because as you increase your earnings, you'll increase your quality of living.
Yeah.
Why haven't you done that yet? Because it's exaggerated, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Has to be.
Has to be.
So organically, the more money I've made as I've aged, where I've lived has gotten better.
Of course.
And that's just what happens.
What made you move to Terrigal?
I followed my mum and dad. They retired up there.
Is it good?
It's the best up there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I just
I
like
can imagine.
it's the lifestyle. So it's more so
Beach.
the beach. It's just chilled. It's like
chilled,
it's more similar to Sydney than it was 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. I haven't been to Sheringham for a while.
But just in living close to the beach, being able just to go for a walk on the water, and it's good just to. It's like it's a distinct separation from work and where I live. I won't work up there. I don't have clients. I've got a couple of clients like online and whatever up there.
Okay, yeah.
But I won't work up there. I won't go do PT up there. I don't work up there at all. But when I go to Sydney, I work. When I'm up there, I'm not working. Except I work up there, but I'm not going to be working in gyms up there or whatever. It's kind of my I can just go be me.
Before I go over the body, I just want to know, you spoke about Wayne Pearce. Do you follow the rugby league?
Look, I used to follow it hard, but I kind of fell out the last 10 years when I kind of I got to know got to see what the players are really like. You know what I mean? Like you kind of like when you're growing up, you idolize these people, and then when you realize they're just like
what?
And this is the majority of them, but there's exceptions.
Dickheads.
There's not people that I'd want to hang out with. So it's like I don't like, and the other thing. Like they're professional athletes, but they don't look or act or train like professional athletes. They're just good football players. So it's like I'm like, why? It kind of disheartened me. And then the game's shit to watch now anyway.
Yeah, it is. There's something boring about who's your team.
I loved Canberra growing up.
Canberra.
Laurie Daly, Mel Meninga, Bradley Clyde,
Daly,
right? Ricky Stewart, Lazarus, Nolan and Druku.
What a side.
Like that side was cracker. And then, before that was South, because Dad loved South.
That was a state of origin side.
Yeah, and then
that was a state of origin side on its own. The only person you brought in was Harrigan.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like from Newcastle and the Johns.
But then you had Mullins too.
Oh my God, Mullins! He was that skinny fullback.
That side was just off its head.
I'm a doggies.
Plus, but then after they all left, then I went back to South because Dad supported South.
All right, so this is good for the podcast too. What about what's going on with what's his name? Latrell. So, how come they can't say what it is? And why is that?
Because they can't accuse someone of not knowing what it actually is.
We all know what it is, but what I'm saying is, do you think if he was a low-rate player, they would have announced it and kicked him out, like following their rules?
No, well, obviously, the higher profile the player is, the less they can get away with.
Yeah.
But, this is what football players are just inherently stupid.
Okay, yes.
Like they are. Why would you even be in that situation?
I know.
To allow that to happen,
especially
right?
someone with a camera.
But
you would be in that situation. But what I'm trying to say to you is, be careful.
That's right. With what he did was nothing that no one else,
average guy,
his age
would do,
did that weekend.
Yeah.
A million times over.
Yeah.
The only difference is he got a profile that's going to be on TV, and the TV channel that runs it is going to get views.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but he's an idiot for allowing it to happen and putting himself in that position. He gives a fuck.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He's out injured. Let him party.
But do you think South is? But come on, what's going on with South at the moment? I mean, you got. Bennett's coming.
I don't follow it like that. Okay. I only see what I see on the news. I'm gonna get into it. I said next year.
Why?
Because I want to start taking Apollo to games. So, but I have to follow it for him to follow it. So I'm going to be watching it. So he's watching it, and I want him to experience that too.
There's nothing better.
That's right.
Do you know my first Father's Day?
Yeah.
My first Father's Day. My wife, well, ex-wife, unfortunately, but it is what it is. 22 years together, so I think I did okay. And it's unfortunate, to be honest. I prefer to be married and prefer to be like a good family man. Right. But what I'm getting at is my first Father's Day. She dressed the whole nursery into blue and white, and she was with the doggies family, and I went. And there's nothing like ringing your son and go, "Did you watch the game this weekend? Or look at the dogs."
To be fair, I stopped following football when I stopped teaching.
Yeah,
but I used to have to follow it because that was a connection with the kids. So we used to talk about footy Monday, Tuesday. You're going
to connect now,
So again, that's why I said I'll start following it next year, whatever. So,
plus, you've got a good coach next year, Bennett.
Yeah.
I think, but you want to put...
Good football coach, shit person, but anyway.
I don't know. Have you met him?
Dude, you didn't hear what he did?
No, tell me.
I've not met him.
No, what would you?
About how he left his wife. He's got like that kind of shit. He's a shit cunt, but he's a good coach. God bless him.
Yeah, that's I don't know the story, but
again, and I'll come back to everything I've said the whole podcast. His wife might have been a bitch. Like, who fucking knows? Do you know what I mean?
No.
She might have beat him at home.
Look, sometimes you, and we'll go over the body next. Sometimes you have to leave before you do worse shit. What I'm trying to say is, if you aren't happy with your missus and you've got to go have an affair to make it clear, how about you make it clear before you go and do
100%.
stupid shit? And that's what I'm saying is, like, that's what I'm saying is, many people just carry on and use it as an excuse, where at the end of the day, how about you just show some courage and say it's not working instead of making everything look bad. But I just think that I think with what's his name, Latrell. The only thing I don't like,
why Bennett works, okay, and this is why, and I did this with when I was teaching. He instills consequences. He's old school. There's consequences, right? So, meaning if he says something and you don't do it, this is what's going to happen, and they all know it.
and I think that's why Latrell's getting away with it.
100%. If you tell someone that if you do this again, this is going to happen, and they do it again and it doesn't happen, you're like, fuck you, I'm doing it every time. You know what I mean? Like if I was at school and I said to kids, if you talk again, I'm going to send you out. Talks again, I ignore it, I don't send him out. I'm like,
And everyone's watching.
that's right, and he's just going to keep talking. Or if I go, you're going to stay in after class, and then after class he just bounce.
Yeah. Phil Gould did the same thing. Phil Gould
Correct.
said the same thing on Monday night's footy show. He said, lack of discipline.
It's all just everything
Lack of
comes down to
discipline,
this.
yeah,
Hi, Yvonne here. I'm thrilled to be working with Steve from Muscle Talks. Please go to rockcreek.com.au and join in on the collaboration with Steve and use your Muscle Talks 10 discount code to buy any products that you'd like.
All right, we're going to go over the body. All right, I'm going to tell you a body part. Just think of an exercise. Sets and reps. That's it. So people get a little bit of like a little bit of a personal training moment. Traps.
Weight plate shrugs.
Weight plate shrugs. How many sets and reps?
4 sets of 25.
4 sets. Delts. Side delts. Outer delts.
Side raisers, standing side raisers.
Sets reps.
If you know how to do them properly, you can go heavy. So
If you know how to do them properly.
yeah. So if you can cheat,
If you can keep it.
if you can kind of like if you can do a controlled cheat, getting them up and then control the eccentric, you can get away with like 6 to 8. They'll grow.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's more of a higher rep,
Okay. I'm going to
tighter
leave.
exercise. Yeah.
No, I'm going to leave it. That's a good explanation. Front delts.
I'd say I'd have to be alternate front raise with a dumbbell.
Yep.
Sets. It's all the sets are always
Same
going to
thing.
be 15 plus.
Okay. Rear delts.
Rear delts, I like reverse pec deck.
Reverse pec deck. Same thing. Same sets and reps.
Yeah, sets of reps. I'd start light and go down as heavy as I could do comfortable.
Lats.
Chin up to the best. Chin up's hard to do. In terms of like, I like personally close grip pull down.
Oh,
And it's just again, I pyramid up. So I start light, 15 to 20, the lighter the weight, emphasize the stretch, the squeeze. And then as you get heavier, you can loosen it up a little bit to get the weight going.
So you don't mind the old school little bit of cheat principles? They're pretty good, aren't they?
You got to be out. You got to know.
But you got to know how to cheat.
As long as you're not cheating the eccentric, you laugh.
Yeah, 100%. I'm the eccentric, correct. Only because your forearms are as big as my quads. What do you train for forearms? Anything?
It's all hammer curls. You could do hammer curls, but my dad's got forearms like this. So my dad's got big forearms. It's a genetic thing.
Fuck, your forearm. I'm just looking at him, man.
You don't. Yeah, I'll never train him. I won't train him.
Did you see his forearms, Chris? Fucking hell, they're as big as your torso. Abs.
Don't talk about my stomach. No, but hanging leg raises, like if I was to speak to a client and say,
Yeah.
right, we've got to work on, it's start your workout with 3 sets of hanging leg raises as many as you can every day.
Okay. Quads.
Single leg extensions or single leg press.
Single leg. Oh, we missed chest. Chest.
Chest would be incline dumbbell press.
Incline dumbbells. Hammies.
Single leg curl.
Good.
And then like
seated,
hammies
seated
are like
or
higher
standing.
reps.
Seated or standing.
Standing single leg hammies 20 plus.
Yeah.
That chest incline 8 to 12. Like it's stock standard with that kind of shit.
But the standing one's very disciplined, man. It can lock you
It's
in.
more
if you do-
sweet. It's all contraction as opposed to pulling. You know.
Yeah, no, I like it. Calves.
It doesn't matter.
It matters for some.
Nah, if you got calves, yeah, like I
got shit calves. But what I found how they
would
grew.
You want good calves
Yeah.
in 1 year?
Yeah.
Train them every single day.
I heard that.
I did that.
And I heard that. I heard that as well. And I guess what I heard as well, the eccentric.
Doesn't matter.
Hold them down.
Doesn't matter.
No, but train them every day.
Train them every day for a year, 365 days.
Okay, I'm writing this down.
If you, I did that,
Day.
and that's
Chris.
why my calves are my calves.
Do you train tibialis? I need to try this. I sound smart. No. In front of the customer. Glutes, man. Tell me something about glutes. Should we be doing hip thrust?
No, I've never done a hip thrust.
Whoa, Chris, he's never done a hip thrust. You've never done a hip thrust? No. Why? Everyone does hip thrusts, apparently.
I'm not going to get down on the ground and put a bar over me.
All right,
It's a setup. Is the setup pointless? Like you can get what you get out of the hip thrust through like a deep squat. I don't squat no more either. Deep leg press you can.
Yep.
Back in the day when you used to train blah blah blah, did you ever see hip thrusts? No,
not one.
not once. I'd do abductor. I do the abductor machine.
Oh yeah,
now.
the abductor. Yes,
For girls,
we had it.
For girls that are focusing on their glutes to do this, but if you're a dude and you do a hip thrust, no good.
We will push that one through. Push that narrative through for sure. All right, this is your opportunity. Like obviously to promote yourself. Where can we find you, man?
Instagram, just type in Jimmy Sadek.
Yeah.
Facebook too, but I don't really use Facebook. This is a trade off from Instagram. And then my email's on that. Everything's pretty much through Instagram.
Fucking 2 a.m. starts, everything. Well, man, I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I really enjoyed it, man. Like I said to you, just to go on a little bit, when I was writing for you, your perception is so different. And when I was writing, I'm thinking, like I'm always nervous when I write a script because I don't know who you are. But I'm thinking, man, who is this guy? I just couldn't work you out. And then I did listen to that podcast, and then I went, okay. And a few people said, you're a really cool guy. And I'm just saying to you. And I was watching all the comments you get from everybody. You got like all the top guys talking about you. You know what I'm trying to say? So then I knew, we're talking to, I know you're going to say this better. Well, I would say this better than me, but we're talking to one of the best. So I just want to say thank you, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, mate, I really appreciate it.